For Malicious Underground X. I am your host, Gregory Blaney, and I am here with two wonderful gentlemen. Alex O'Neill.
Wonderful? Is that like... It's like my dad using the word fabulous to describe Star Trek. It's like it feels like kind of inappropriate, but also appropriate at the same time in like a really sexual way. I'm Alex. What's up? Hey.
Yeah. And Mr. Knapp. This is where you say hi, Mr. Knapp.
Choke.
I joked. Okay. Yeah. Hey, people.
Hi, internet.
I'm just joking here. Don't mind me. Oh God.
Month. We've got a. We said last podcast we watched Kids on the Slope of Madoka Magic, so that will come up in the podcast later on. But for right now, let's go into what we've been watching throughout the month, besides the two shows that we told us to watch. Who wants to go first?
I was gonna say something.
But Alex wants to say something first.
Okay. Yeah, I remember now. So, alongside the anime, I think since it's going to go through this RSS feed from now on, well, not through the feed, but on the site. You should really check out our Persona 4 The Animation Commentary.
Yes, do that.
We're watching, as the Irrational Passions team, obviously Greg, myself, Nabashin, and Tony are watching Persona 4 The Animation, which is the anime version of Persona 4 The game. Very good adaptation of the game. Personal favorite of mine and Nabashin's. So you should go check that out. All of them are only downloadable from irrationalpassions.com. You cannot get them through the RSS feed or the Libsyn page. So you should definitely go get this. And also, you can watch this podcast on YouTube.
On YouTube, and you can also go on Google Plus and watch it live.
Yeah, in future we'll be doing this on Google Plus Live. If you're not familiar with it, we do it for Irrational Passions every week. Just go, if you want to watch the video, which is going to be backlogged, you can go to youtube.com/irrationalpassions and watch the episodes of the podcast in video form. So there we go.
We decided to do that just because we wanted more people to kind of just join in the conversation. It gives you a chance to jump in, talk to us while we're doing the show. Ask us any questions when we get to the monthly watch section of the podcast, and anything else you'd like to talk about. So,
1 second, sorry.
Yeah.
It was muting me because I was typing.
Okay. Let's get into...
It's muting both of us because I'm typing. God damn it, Google Plus. And so the Google Plus problems begin.
Can I continue the podcast, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I was actually wondering about that because you were kind of going off and on a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I typed what I had to type, so.
Okay, we're good. All right. So, now we'll go into what we've been watching, because I've said it 3 times, but Alex keeps cutting me off.
Greg, what have you been watching, my friend?
So, you want me to go first? All right, that's
Yeah, you got the longest, so go for it.
I do have the longest. Okay, so Madoka Magic and Kids on the Slope, we'll talk about that later. But, Namashine also gave me, Puni Puni Poemi, which is a spin-off of the XL Saga. It contains more Nabashin.
Yes, it does.
Which is the actual director of XL Saga and Pumi Pumi Poemi. That's where Nabashin, our friend, got his name from. It's a random 2-episode, 30-minute each series. It's interesting. It's random.
2 episodes, 30 minutes each?
Yeah, an hour total.
Weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It was supposed to be short. There's not much to say about it. It's funny, it's entertaining, it's quick, really. There's not much story to it, it's just randomness. And that's really all I have to say about it.
It has lots of what the fuck to it, like
Oh, go ahead. No,
like
sorry.
that mob guy that like has his balls as a weapon.
Yeah, there is the aliens that have, like, low-hanging tail balls, and they, like, swing them around.
So, like, scrotes?
Yeah, kind of.
Yes.
What the fuck?
It's really
Exactly.
weird. And the whole time it was just Nabashin. It was really weird, but okay.
And Nabashin like counteracts that guy by throwing little of himself into the balls with his that comes out from his hair. Like he was shooting out little mini hymns with his hair.
Little mini Nabashins going flying, hitting balls?
Yes.
That was really weird.
It reminds me of my birthday.
It's a very random show. I enjoyed it for the randomness, really. But other than that, the story didn't exist at all. It was
Like, what's it about?
There isn't.
There isn't. Okay.
It's kind of very, very loosely kind of like a magical girl show, but not really at all.
Not.
Yeah.
Basically, Pumi Pumi is this like very eccentric girl, and then somehow she finds this guy that has a fish, and then the fish turns her into like some Supergirl, and then she blows up a city and kills aliens, and like that happens for 2 episodes, and that's it. And she lives with people that are the Earth Defense Force, and apparently they only have powers that defend, and it's very fucking random and out of
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's really hard to explain.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to go into it.
No, I'm glad you went into it. I have an image now. At least it was like it's a really gross sexual ball-filled alien image, but
You got the both ball-field and sexual. That pretty much wraps that show up in all sense of the words. Moving on, I watched Panty and Stocking with Gutterbelt. That is a Funimation dub. It's very entertaining. It's divided into 2 episodes in 1 episode. Like, they'll play one, and that lasts about 15 minutes, and then they'll play the other, and that lasts about 15 minutes. It's basically about 2 angels that are on Earth, and they have to collect heaven coins to get back into heaven, but they're very vulgar. One likes sex a lot, the other likes sugar a lot, and they curse, like, all the time.
Sugar?
Yeah. Like
sweets?
Yes.
Okay.
And spice and everything nice.
Honey Senpai, gotcha.
Yeah, except...
Nice Powerpuff Girls reference,
Except
by
she's
the way.
goth. Like, super goth. And Panny is, like, super horny and always fucks people, and it's really funny. No, literally, there's a lot of fucking in this show. But it's never, shown, it's just always, like, there.
Like I said last episode, we're just gonna degrade to the point where we're watching hentai.
It's not like that at all. It's a very comedic show. It's really, really
It's
funny.
a very what?
Yeah. Thanks.
I had to. If I didn't, someone would have wrote an email in
Yeah, no.
and be like, well, it's come. Have sex.
Yeah, no, it's... For the comedic value of the show, it's really good, though. Like, it's really funny. It kept me entertained the entire time I was watching it. Yeah, it's, like, really dirty, but the whole premise of the show is the guy in Japan wanted to use as many American curse words and American, like, things that we do in a show at one time. And so, basically, it's just, like, fuck you, slut, hoe bag, just, like, constant curse words and shit.
Offensive.
It is. It's a very offensive show, but it's very...
It was right up your alley.
It's very funny.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to 5 Gregs, how many Gregs would you give it?
Maybe a 4.
4 Gregs?
4, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of Greg. I don't think I can handle that much Greg.
The story lacks, but for the randomness value and the funny value,
It gets extra Greg.
it's pretty good.
All right, cool.
And then I'm also rewatching Strike Witches in dub because that show's awesome. I own both seasons, so if I talk about Strike Witches again, it's probably because I'm now on the 2nd season. Right now I'm on the 1st. I'm like 4 episodes into it. It's a great show.
High five, Greg.
High five, Nep. It's a ecchi magical girl show. I guess you consider it
I think
girl.
you tried to explain this to me at one point before, and I was like, what the fuck?
They don't wear pants. That's the premise of that show.
Oh, yeah, this one. Gotcha. All right.
They don't wear pants,
No, we're
and
good.
they all have magical powers, and they're each named after an animal. 2 are cats, several are dogs, one's a rabbit,
Is one's
one's a
name
panther.
Pussy?
No. One's named Perrine, though, which is close, but she's French. And that show's good. I like it a lot. So, like I said, I'm rewatching for a 2nd time, so I really won't go into it. And it's probably not a show we'll end up watching.
How many episodes is it?
12 episodes for the 1st season, 12 episodes for the 2nd season. There's a movie coming out that hasn't been dubbed yet, and
Careful
the 3rd
with the
season.
tapping on the table.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
need to stop doing it.
Hey, you're gonna have to fucking edit it, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to add, Nep, about Strike Witches? Just curious. Just because you watched it as well. Alex hasn't, but I like that show.
Yeah, it's a show that Alex will never watch. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
just hearing it, I'm like,
it's a show that Alex won't watch, so that's why I'm saying we're never going to end up watching this as a monthly show.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
Even though it's got a great
that's
story.
the sad part. Whatever. Fuck you guys.
The story value for that show is great. I love it. Okay. Anyways, moving on.
And then the rest was the monthly shows?
Yeah, I said that earlier. The first 2 were the monthly shows. Both in sub, by the way. Just for reference.
Alright, so we're recording on June 11th, technically. It's 1 a.m., so. When did you finish?
I finished Madoka like the first week after we.
When did we record?
Finished.
We recorded like on like the 16th or something.
Yeah, something like that of May. And then I finished Kids on the Slope. I didn't start out like I watched Pumi Pumi, and then I started Kids after that. So
I finished on June 1st. That's when
yeah,
I
I
finished
finished before you. So I think I finished like a week before.
You finished like 2 days before me.
Or
You
2
finished
days.
Kids 2 days before me.
Yeah, probably.
Because I finished it the
Yeah, you
weekend after we
binged it.
recorded the podcast.
Yeah.
It was June 2nd. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So
I binged both, so.
how about you, Nep? When did you finish?
Winky face, hashtag YOLO, hashtag swag.
Yeah, I'm not as impressive as y'all. I finished watching Madoka for the third time like yesterday, and Kids on the
Pretty
Slope
impressive.
2 days ago.
Why did you procrastinate so much?
I don't know. I just
You're the one like, I mean, I didn't want to watch too much because we know Alex can't fucking keep up with us. And I'm like, well, fuck, thanks, guys.
Well, it didn't take me that long to actually finish them. It just took me that long to start them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alex,
All right, you want me to go?
yeah. What have you been watching, man?
So I want to say this first. You know, I'm obviously different than the two super anime. You know, they know way more about anime than I do. So I want to, you know, bring my own flavor to this because I am so different and special. And my mommy says she loves me, but you know, I have my doubts.
We treat Alex differently.
We treat Alex.
He's like the
Everybody treats
He's like
him
the orphan
differently.
kid with like the limp leg.
No,
that
no.
we treat just a little differently than all the others, but we still love him.
Funny reference. It was my brother's birthday a couple weeks ago, and we were out at dinner with all my family. And I when I was younger, and still sometimes now, I just made like really dumb, like special quote unquote faces when I would take pictures of my family, just because why not? And when they would show it to my aunt, my grandma, when they would show it to like family members, they'd be like, "Oh, that's our special grandson. He's very special." Yeah, they kept making fun of me, so there you go. That's me being special. But anyway, the point being, I'm going to talk about some American anime shows, and I mean this in, like American cartoons in the style of anime, like Avatar, like Teen Titans.
Well, the one that you're gonna mention today is one that I would watch. I just haven't actually gotten around to picking those titles up.
Yeah. So I watched all of season 1 of Young Justice,
Which I want to watch.
It is fantastic. So obviously, if you know anything about like the Cartoon Network and WB like series of DC shows. There's Batman the Animated Series and Superman the Animated Series, which then kind of combined, and then that just naturally evolved into Justice League. They're all directed by Bruce Timm, and they all have the same continuity all the way through Batman Beyond and Static Shock.
I forgot that Static Shock is actually a DC series.
Yeah, he's actually a full-fledged comic book series.
Yeah, like
too.
anybody that watched Static Shock was just like, what is
That
this?
show's so awesome.
I haven't watched it forever.
Yeah, he teams up in the last season. He teams up with like, the Justice League like all day, every day. I guess.
Yeah, he actually met up with Green Lantern like more than once in the episodes.
Because Green Lantern is the reason Static Shock, the character, wanted to become a superhero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was like a role model for him.
Yep. Which is really cool because the Green Lantern is John Stewart, which is the second Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
He's a strong black superhero character.
Geeking out.
Yeah, geeking out pretty much.
But
But
there's been more Green Lanterns.
yes, there are tons.
Mm.
I think there are 5 human Green Lanterns. I'm not sure. Could be more. But anyway, Young Justice is not in that continuity. It's kind of it goes into it basically starts its own new continuity. So it's different coming off of the Bruce Timmiverse, where there was all this connection between like 17 different shows. I think it's like 7 different shows actually. It's Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, Static Shock, Justice League Unlimited, and then Batman Beyond.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
There's the Zeta Project as well.
oh yeah, I never watched Data Project, so I should probably watch that. But anyway, Young Justice is a whole new continuity. It's really cool. It's basically another take on Teen Titans. It starts out with they're referred to as the Team. They're all a team of sidekicks. It's led by Aqualad with Robin, Dick Grayson, Robin, and Superboy, which is Superman's clone, which is half Superman, half Lex Luthor.
Spoilers.
That's not a spoiler. Shut up. If you know anything about DC, you know that. Robin, Aqualad, Artemis, which is one of the proteges of the Green Arrow. Red Arrow, also known as Speedy. I'm trying to think. I can't believe I'm blanking on them. And there are two more.
The Wonder Girl person.
No, that's season 2.
Oh shit.
And then, but basically, it's like a series of them, very Teen Titans-esque, super awesome, like incredibly well written, and a lot of really, really great action scenes. And the way they do like an overarching story about, mostly about Superboy and this group of supervillains called the Light. It's just really clever, and I really loved it. And season 2 is like a whole nother thing. It takes place 5 years later, and all the characters are grown up. Dick Grayson's now Nightwing, and Tim Drake is the current Robin. It has Batgirl, it has Wonder Girl. Miss Martian is one of the main characters too. Season 2 has Beast Boy. It has a ton of really awesome characters.
Nice.
And Blue Beetle, which it has more superheroes than you're probably familiar with. Like Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, is a big character on there too. So, and Batman.
Hey, question.
Shoot.
What's Blue Beetle's powers? Like, what does he do?
He has something referred to as the Scarab attached to his body. He cannot actually remove it. And the Scarab is an AI. It's like a machine. It is constantly connected to his consciousness, so he hears it in his head. And he can activate the Scarab to create an armor around him that gives him... it's like Iron Man type thing, except the Scarab is like this rogue AI. That it can only be removed once someone dies.
Yeah.
And I believe the removal process will kill whoever the Scarab is attached to as well.
Weird.
Yeah, I looked up a lot about the Blue Beetle because he was someone I wasn't familiar with. It was really cool, interesting, and they bring like a lot of characters that you don't see too often, like Wonder Girl and Batgirl and stuff. And also it has Lobo. There's an episode with Lobo, and Mr. Knapp knows who the main man is.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, Young Justice is awesome. I just started season 2, which is very, very different, but I want to get back into it. But I wanted to watch Kids and Madoka. I actually watched like a lot of TV in this past month.
Which is good.
Yeah. I'm trying to, I really liked the process of watching something out of my comfort zone too. Madoka specifically. I like the idea of me watching more varied anime. Just so you guys know. Yeah,
it helps me out too.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The anime that we're going to be watching next month will be something that will definitely be perspective as different.
To know my perspective, I'll have a different perspective.
Yeah, you'll definitely have like a different thought process.
Okay, I'm excited. Yeah, it's already been decided. We'll talk about it at the end of the show.
Thought process in life or in the anime?
No, just thought process as an anime and how things work and like the whole entire idea of the. I'll go into it once we get to it. It's just I don't want to start talking about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into it. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Young Justice is pretty much all I watched this month, anime wise. I started watching Superman and Batman the Animated Series again because they're awesome. But yeah, other than that, that's why I wanted to talk about it at length. It's really cool. Like seriously, if you have any appreciation for DC superheroes, or you're like a DC fan, or like a those Bruce Timm type shows fan at all, watch Young Justice. It's fucking awesome.
Funny thing is, I've been staring at my DC collection of stuff, and I've been wanting to restart watching Batman again.
Yeah, I just restarted Batman. It's really funny going back to like this way old like 1992 episodes. I'm like, Man, this show was so fucking dope when it came out. Like, in 92, like, kids must have been losing their shit, because it was, like, it was in a time, like, before Batman really became dark.
Mm-hmm.
He was dark in the comics, like, starting, like, the 80s. But, like, the last televised Batman was...
The Adam West one.
Adam West.
Adam West!
And they had the movies at that point. They had the really
The
dread...
Mr. Freeze movie?
Well, that one's like a different... That one's more lighthearted. But they had like the 89 Tim Burton Batman movie, which was...
You're talking about the live-action movies?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I was talking about the animated Batman movies.
Well, Mr. Freeze has a live-action movie, too.
Yeah, no, but I was talking about
the-
Mr. Freeze... The Mr. Freeze animated
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
That
No,
one's dark.
That one's really fucking dark. That's based off Batman the Animated Series, so
Yeah,
that
that's
came
what
afterward.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really mature look at Batman, and it's like really awesome. It's got really cool action. So Batman the Animated Series still awesome. But yeah, that's it for me. Just kids and Madoka.
Yeah. And you
So-
watch both those dub.
I watched the dub, and I believe you guys both watched the sub.
Wait, did you watch the sub of Madoka?
Yeah,
Okay,
I watched I watched the dub of Madoka.
Madoka's a dub? I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Okay.
So
Well, then.
and it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
It was actually pretty good. It was competent.
All right, now you're up.
What's up, Neb?
Right, so basically I just watched two different things besides what we're all watching. Like, I went at a friend's house, and for, I don't know, I guess it would be a couple months now, I've been trying to convince my friend to watch the second movie of Marduk Scramble, because I got him to watch the first one, and he was okay with it, and for him not being an anime fan and he was okay with it, that's kind of an accomplishment. And so I've been trying to push the second movie onto him for a while now, and we finally sat down and watched it. And yeah, a lot like the first one, it ends in a cliffhanger. It's not as bad as the first ending cliffhanger, but yeah, cliffhanger. And this one's a lot more slower pace than the first movie, because this one's more like an in-between stuff, like a cool down time from all the action of the first movie. And do I need to explain the synopsis?
I just like, what's it generally about? Like, what's the premise?
It's kind of set in a time setting similar to Ghost in the Shell, like that kind of somewhat and slightly in the future with some advanced technology.
Okay.
Kind of like that.
Near
Yeah.
future. Okay.
Okay, where it's basically about this girl that she hooked up with a bad man, and right at the very start she gets killed by that man. But before she could actually fully die, she gets rescued by a doctor, and he actually gets her to come back to life, and it's basically her trying to get revenge from this guy through court, and also because she was brought back by the miracles of science, she now has like the ability to basically contact anything electrical. Like, you know, she can project her voice on anything with a speaker now.
That's cool.
And
So she can like hack into anything.
yeah, basically.
That's dope.
Interesting.
Does she have robot legs?
Hmm?
Does she have robot legs?
No, she's still all human.
Interesting.
Cool. That actually sounds pretty cool. And it's 3 movies, I guess.
Yeah, it's 3 movies. The second movie came out. Third movie, I don't even have a date for it yet, so just waiting for it.
Okay. Oh, cool.
And what else have you been watching, man?
I ended up skipping episodes, but I ended up watching the second season of Oreimo, which is a nickname for Ore no moto ga konnani kawaii wake ga nai. So Oreimo for short.
Okay.
Meaning what?
I can't believe my sister is this cute.
God damn it.
So Alex just figured all he needed to know about.
I wonder what this. Oh, fuck it. Jesus.
I know what this show is generally about because I've seen the pictures from it and I've seen what's on Crunchyroll and stuff
Seen
like
the
that.
porn on it.
It's not porn,
I know.
but I know what it's about in general.
I have a. You know what? After hearing that title, I think I have a pretty good idea.
I think we all have a pretty good idea.
Hashtag Moe.
Hashtag sister love.
Yep. Yep.
Give me all your emotos.
Hashtag sister comment.
I have that picture
I do too.
because I gave it to you.
I know.
You're welcome.
Thank you. But
All right, but right, Oremo, what it's actually about. Basically, it's about a brother and sister that they don't really get along well anymore. Like they've grown up, they're in high school, they don't like each other at all, and then it's from the brother's perspective, and he like discovers this anime DVD in the house, which is weird because nobody in the house likes it. And then shortly after that, he finds out that it belongs to his sister and that she's actually like a closet otaku. And from there, it's basically him actually getting to know his sister, seeing the world of otaku from an outsider's point of view, and just actually forming a bond again with his sister that, you know, they basically hate each other's guts, and it's starting to change back into that of a family again. And like the first season was a lot about the otaku culture and how it is from outsiders' point of view, because like I think episode 2 started where the dad actually finds out and he's completely against it, and like I kind of relate to that because that actually happened to me with my parents, and so like, you know, like that's what actually drew me in. Like it's actually the otaku culture from an outsider's point of view is what drew me in, because there's a lot of it. Like there's lots of people who just don't get it, and you know, you get the weird stuff, you get the you just get the culture basically.
mm-hmm.
I like the idea of that. That premise sounds actually really interesting.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, season 2 actually had a character arc with a character named Kuroneko, which was basically a friend of the sister that I'm not going to go into everything. Basically, it was her arc for episodes 7 through 9, which is what I watched, and my interest is gone now with this series. Like, that's all I wanted from the series, and I'm done.
Okay.
How long is it in general?
The first season is 16 episodes. Second season, they haven't finished yet, but they're actually gonna keep going until it's completely adapted to light novels, which is what it's based off of. So until
They did episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird to me. Anyways,
That's a solid number. Careful, don't drop that mic. Alright, cool. Sounds good, Mr. Neb. So, I guess this is the part where Neb has to talk about fucking
Manga.
boring ass.
reading section of the
You know, all right. Let me give you guys the benefit of the doubt. I have 2 manga downloaded in my downloads folder. They're free. I didn't torrent them or anything. And I plan on reading them. I was going to read them before this show, so Neb wouldn't be here all by himself. But I'll read them before next show.
All right, Mr. Neb. This is the manga section. This is the section specifically for you.
yes,
Because
it
you
is.
requested it.
Okay, so yeah, following back to me.
Boring. Sorry, what?
Fuck reading.
I love
God damn it, flip table.
I love you, Neb. Keep going. Sorry.
All right, so yeah, I've read a couple of omnibuses of books. Like I read like the volume 5 and 6 collection of Loveless, which is you know what? I'm gonna leave it at the title. I'm not gonna go into details.
Omnibuses?
Oh,
Loveless. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
omnibuses. They're basically kind of like collections for mangas, you know, where they compile different volumes into one book.
So it's just basically a really long manga.
You kind of cut out there.
Yeah, god damn it.
I'm sorry, my bad. He said so it's basically like a really long manga.
Yeah, because it actually takes the entire books into one.
Yeah.
And okay, so anybody that knows Loveless, all of a sudden you probably see me in a whole different light, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right.
All right. Besides that, I just finished Zero's Familiar, which volume 1 through 3, which is actually another omnibus collection, and that is actually pretty. Well, I've seen season 1 because that actually got licensed like I don't know, it was 6 or 7 years ago, First season got licensed, released in America. I bought that, and based off my memories off of that, it's actually the manga is actually kind of like an abridged version of the anime, which it is what it is. And Volume 1 through 3 covers almost the entirety of Season 1, so I actually didn't read any new content for me, so yeah, there's that. I'm more excited about the next volume because that's going to be new stuff for me. And then the best manga for last.
Whoa.
Wow, that was something I was not expecting.
You have no idea how happy I am about this next one.
Net just turned into a fangirl.
Yeah, that's pretty much what just happened.
Yeah.
Wait. Let me read the title. Kisses, Sighs, and Cherry Blossom Pink Complete Collection.
Oh, okay. I see why he likes this now. Google Images and Amazon tell me everything.
All right. Yep. I'm boring. I mean, what? Sorry. Hashtag Yuri, hashtag hentai.
Oh my god, dude. So, yeah, this is the title I never expected to ever get released ever in the entirety of life, and
I love the tee-hee. Like, this is like live-action hee-hee squealing. You guys get to hear this for posterity.
Yeah.
Wow.
This happens sometimes when I'm really fanatical.
Even put it in the very beginning.
Just pull him just going. I don't know what that was.
I could probably recreate it if you want.
It's fine. Just
No,
continue.
you're fine. So actually, no. Let's leave it at that. I think that that reaction sums up exactly what this is.
No, Dad, no!
All right.
Go ahead, Nev.
What?
Oh my god, I'm so excited about this. Basically, this is actually like one of the first scanlations I ever read, and you know, this was like years ago. So like, you know, all of a sudden it comes out, and I'm like, whoa! I'm gonna buy 4 copies of this, and that's what I did.
Huh.
Wow.
So you bought 4 copies of it.
So send one to Greg so he can sticky up those pages.
Wow. That got very, very like. Wow. Okay.
You really think I wouldn't cross that line, Greg? Excuse me.
I just didn't think you would. Not that quickly, at least.
We done fucking learned.
All right, and right, okay. So the actual synopsis of this is basically actually an anthology collection of one-shot stories of just girls falling in love, and
With girls, probably. I'm just gonna guess.
well, yeah, there's that. There's that.
I thought that might have been an important detail that somebody should mention.
Although in Japan, this actually released as a 2-volume release, and we just got the whole thing in one convenient book. And there's actually like, okay, Volume 1 was very much just an anthology, and the second volume was actually kind of a follow-up to the most popular characters from the first anthology. So they kind of got their own volume, basically.
Cool.
And, just oh my god, okay, so this is just such an adorable series. I love it so much. It's so cute, it's so romantic, it's just so good.
The use of adorable in that sentence.
That's like my dad using the word fabulous to describe Star Trek.
Well, it is
Title!
adorable.
You've used it twice.
But it is adorable. And it actually has kind of different shades of Yuri. Like you have like one story where you have like a girl
So
that
it's like
actually
50 Shades of Grey, except it's 50 Shades of Yuri.
God fucking damn it.
okay,
God
so
fucking damn it.
Come on, that was a pretty good joke.
Shut the fuck up. Fucking talk now.
okay, so you have stories like this one girl who actually died and became a ghost, and so she actually follows the girl that she fell in love with, which is now a high school nurse, and she follows her around, and she accidentally possesses a schoolgirl there, and actually gets a second chance to actually hang out with the girl that she loved, and actually kind of say a goodbye to her. So you have like different shades of Yuri. It's not just happy-go-lucky romance, although it is there very much. And okay, I can't keep going. I just love this manga so much. It's so good.
Okay, Alex has already had enough.
I said, enough said.
Oh my god.
Alex is the only one not okay with this. He's just like, I can't handle this.
It's not like I'm against it. I just. Oh god damn it! Neb, before we go into our first break, do you want to talk about any fucking video games you've been playing?
Right. I've actually been. Every now and then I play on and off a PSP game called Soul Trigger. It actually came out last year, and I've been plowing through it slowly. It's a really good JRPG that's like never gonna get released here because it's PSP. That kind of kills it already. But
Yep.
Dead on arrival.
Yeah, it's so good though because like this is actually a genre like I've never really given a shot until now because this is actually like a first-person JRPG, which I don't like, but I gave this a shot and it's good. Like I'm surprised I enjoy it.
Is it like Etrian Odyssey?
Kind of.
Okay.
Like the actual gameplay is straight up first person, but when you're walking around, you're in third person.
Weird.
So it does implement enough first person that this would not be the type of thing that I'd like, but it is. Like I don't know why. It's just something about first person RPGs. Just I don't know. They don't click with me.
Huh.
But
Hashtag Destiny.
Hashtag whatever the other game is. I don't know.
But
Not third person.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
Sorry.
But yeah, this game actually has two different storylines, and I finished the first one. I'm doing the second one, which is actually the main character from the first game. His son, he gets he's the second storyline, and it's well done. You need to know Japanese just to play it, but yeah, it's good. I wish somebody would have picked it up, but of course, there's no chance.
It happens.
Yeah. It's just, if it's not going to turn at least enough profit for publishing costs, then, yeah. It's a shit life, man, for PSP games.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good ones out there.
Any other games, Nep?
In Nep's Gaming Corner.
Because we don't have JRPGs or anything that we play like currently.
No, I do, but because we have another podcast that talks about video games.
And
Nep
yeah,
doesn't.
that is a good point. Yes. So, is there anything else, Nep? Sorry.
I've been grinding in Neptunia Victory.
All right.
That's pretty much it.
So nothing new
Nah.
other than that.
All right, guys. Well, we'll go into our first break. We'll come back with new releases for the anime coming out in the month of June.
And some news, apparently.
And some lengthy news section that we got going on here. Then we'll be right back.
Pete?
Damn it, Nep.
Oh, it just happened, dude.
It just happened, man.
I don't know. Just.
Alright, there's something I was going to type real quick.
Yeah, I know what I'm gonna put in the break for here.
Okay. I'm gonna let you guys know, just my opinion, my input. I don't feel the titles for this show. Just because, like, the reason we do titles on Irrational Passions is it's a weekly thing. So it's, like, kind of describing the moment, and usually it's related to something that happened that week. It's weird for a monthly thing. This is my input,
Yo, man, I never said to do titles. It just appeared on the show last week.
I
just went with it.
Nep wanted to do it. It's just like, I think, because I was thinking, because we're gonna do those mini casts, like that them having like a title would be weird. It's like Mupp Mini, and then the title of the movie we would watch, like, and then like the titles of the anime we would watch that month. It's up to you guys. I feel like, from like a new listener perspective, when they're like, oh, this is about anime, oh, this is Kids on the Slope and Madoka Magica. Okay, I know what they're going to be discussing on this episode. That way it makes these kind of like timeless episodes that anybody can look at the list and be like, I love that anime. Okay, I'll listen to this.
Okay.
That's my perspective.
I'm okay with whatever, but Nep, what do you think?
I just kind of feel like putting just what we've been watching. It's too generic and too uniform for a podcast. Like, I don't think it really works well.
Well, this is a podcast based on like monthly discussions or episodic discussions, and like that is like the core of the show. That's when we were talking about doing it. That was like the idea we kind of circled around. So that's the only reason. It's up to you guys, though.
I'm cool with whatever. So, I mean, we can get rid of the titles. We can keep doing the titles. It doesn't matter to me.
Hashtag swag. Hashtag YOLO.
Hashtag podcast.
It's up to you, Nap. You're the one that really pushed for the title stuff, so. Oh, God, I hate being a tiebreaker.
Well,
I mean, do you understand, like, where I'm coming from, at least?
Yeah. It feels kind of like I already lost.
I mean, you didn't lose.
I'm indifferent about it because I'm letting...
Literally, if you want to keep doing it, we keep doing it. If you don't, that's fine. Either way. Don't care. I just want to put my opinion out there. I don't want to be the kid that never says he's being abused, lives a fucked up life for the rest of his life.
God damn.
I swear my daddy doesn't hit me. That was fucked up.
Yeah, it was.
It
Got dark real fast.
It got dark. And we can always decide later, since it's fucking 1:30 in the morning, and I want to sleep at some point tonight. So we can just discuss it later.
For me.
So just bring us back however you want, Gregory.
Alrighty.
I'll read these fucking hot releases. Like a big ass wet pancake.
Alright.
Because that's like the most I'm going to talk in this discussion, in this segment.
You might talk at some of this stuff.
Some of these things might catch my eye. I haven't read all of them, so.
Okay. Alright, guys. We are back. Hope you enjoyed that musical break. Alright. Alex is going to read the new releases for the month of June.
Okay.
We've got a good lengthy list here.
Is your body's readies?
We's be readies.
Alright, so these are all releasing on June 4th.
By the way, Nep, thanks for setting it up like this.
Yeah,
I did it really weird last time, so.
Yeah, this is nice. Props, Nep.
No problem.
Nep puts so much fucking effort into this Google Doc. I'm like, man, this is like what a podcast host does. Unlike some other people.
Hey.
Who don't even... I'm not talking to you specifically. I'm like, who don't even write the list of games they've been playing that week. I'll check the doc when it's time to record.
Also, like half the people on our show.
That's the joke. So all released on June 4th, we have Appleseed 13 for $65, and then Appleseed 13 complete again. I guess one's first press. What is
limited
first?
edition? One's limited edition. The other one's the original.
And that's 70, so it's the extra $5. Birdie the Mighty Decode Complete Collection. That's 30.
Get it? Good anime.
Phantom Requiem for the Phantom.
Get it? Good anime.
That's actually what we're watching next month. That's $25.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
You ruined it already.
Or they could have just read the show notes and known already.
That's true.
Phantom Requiem for Phantom, the Save Edition. That's $30. $5 extra on that.
By the way, Save, if you didn't know, just means the really cheap edition.
Except it's more expensive.
No.
No, this
One's
is
Blu-ray, one's not.
Oh, that's Blu-ray. That's why.
Yeah, this is what Funimation calls their re-releases. They call them save editions.
Okay.
They're pretty much just like the cheaper version of the original. Is what they do.
All right, cool.
It's weird.
The Everyday Tales of a Cat God Complete Series Premium Edition is $65. First press.
Blu-ray.
Dusk Maiden Amnesia Complete Collection DVD plus 2 music CDs, $60.
It's not bad.
Dusk Maiden of Amnesia Complete Collection Blu-ray plus the 2 DVDs is $70. Tegami Bachi Letter Be Reverse Season 2 Collection 2, $50. That's subs. Dirty Pair TV Part 1. The light box of that is $40, and that is also sub. Releasing for the week of June 11th, we have Sengoku Basara Seasons 1 and 2 Collection Blu-ray DVD combo. That is $70. Fushigi Yugi Elkoden, that's $20. Digimon Tamer Season 3 Collection, $70. That's the dub for you guys. Digimon Tamers. Is that like a spinoff?
I have no clue. I don't know.
That is season 3.
Oh,
Okay.
it's just season 3. Okay.
Okay.
$70.
Mysterious Girlfriend, the DVD version is $60, and Mysterious Girlfriend, Mysterious Girlfriend X, the Blu-ray edition is $70. Bleach Set 17 is $45. Lagrange, the Flower of Renee, I guess, $45.
Yeah,
And then the Blu-ray edition of that is $55. Releasing the week of June 18th, we have Sayuki seasons 1 and 2 for $50. Chrome Shelled Regios Complete Collection.
Chrome Shelled Regios.
Regios? Okay.
Yeah.
That's $30. Kill Me Baby, the Complete Collection for $60. Jungle Book, Adventures of Mowgli.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
You don't know that name?
I've never seen it spelt. So.
We both kind of looked at that going, what?
Wow.
No, I've never seen it written. It was like I had that with another word earlier today. For that's $10. And the complete collection is $30. The $10 one is just the beginning. For the week of June 25th, 2013, we have Saint Seiya movies 1 and 2 for $25, and Saint Seiya movies 3 and 4 for $25. Heaven's Lost Property Fort, the complete collection, that's Blu-ray, $65. Momo, the Girl God of Death, the Ballad of Shinigami. The complete collection for $30. Juden Chan complete for $25, and Tari Tari the complete for $50. And those last two were subs. And the last release on June 26th is Gurren Lagann TV and movies Blu-ray box import for $670. What the fuck?
Yep.
What's in that actually is okay. So there's a whole bunch of swag in this DVD. It's along with like concept art. There's like 2 soundtracks. I think there's like a whole bunch of other stuff that you get in this, but like it's because it's Amniplex.
Yep.
And Amniplex is releasing this only because people wanted it, and they're going to charge out the ass for it because they know people want it.
And Aniplex charges the way the Japanese market goes. Like, this is the kind of price you would pay for Japan stuff.
But also, it's got like a whole bunch of stuff in it. Like, it's got the box set is huge. Like, I've seen what's in this thing. It's a lot.
I doubt it's worth $670.
It's not.
Fucking
yeah,
dollars.
it seriously
Not worth that
isn't.
many. But I'm just saying, that's why it's that expensive, so everybody knows.
And if you can tell, that was a limited edition.
So get them now, kids.
Yeah, get your mortgage loan out now.
Or you could buy 2 next-gen consoles. You know, your choice.
or you could just go sell your liver on the street.
Yeah.
You know, you could
Sell your.
You don't need that
organs
liver,
for
right?
money. Yeah, you only need 1 kidney. Fuck it, you don't need either. Just live on a dilator machine. The rest of your fucking life.
Okay, nephew got news, but of course the first article you say but it is you just write fuck yes. That's news. Fuck yes.
Meteor Blasters adds Yami and Boshi to Hon no Tabipito Fantasy Yuri anime. Oh,
he showed me this. Yeah,
wow.
I know what this is. I know.
Oh, and you were there for my immediate reaction on how much I was squealing like a little girl.
The schoolgirl thing, pretty much the reaction to this.
Yeah, that's what happened.
you know what, Nep? Props to you for getting very excited about your craft, I guess.
Yeah, it's basically just a Yuri magical girl anime from the 90s, right?
Basically, Yami Bo is actually an adaptation of a visual novel that came out, like, God, it's been, I would say, over 10 years ago. Like, I don't remember the exact date, but it's been out for a long time. It's been, out on the internet for a long time, and all of a sudden, Media Blasters actually licenses this, and
originally aired in 2003.
Oh my God!
So that's not 90s, early aughts.
Well,
oh my God!
Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know what I'm saying.
Were you going to try and argue with me that 2003 was the 90s? Please,
no. I wasn't going to argue with you.
Please do it. I will drop some fucking statistics on your face. Well, actually, 2003 is in the 2000s. What? What did you say?
The visual novel, Nep said, was in the 90s.
No, he said 10 years ago, which is 2003. early aughts. We're old, dude. I'm sorry, but
God damn it!
10 years ago is no longer the 90s.
I hate myself.
We can't be young anymore.
I hate myself a lot right now. Okay, I fucked up. Whatever. Continue. Next story.
But damn it. All right.
No, if you want to talk about it, Nep, just fucking talk about it. I'm not gonna fucking say anything.
Okay, so yeah, this is actually like a really weird adaptation for the anime actually because they really don't follow too much with the game at all. So it's kind of weird. It has plot holes out the ass. It has bad writing out the ass, and
Sounds like a really great, just awesome
anime.
It's not, but I'm still excited and I still want it, and I'm still just in shock that it actually came out. It's actually
This is what I dealt with when he first. I read the title and he's like, "Wait, what?"
what the fuck? Like I said, you get excited about anime like I do about video games, so props.
Right,
As for me about this, I could not give a shit, but like, hey, whatever, man. To each his own.
This is great.
Okay, all right.
So the next story is.
I'm composed. All right, so yeah, Section 23 adds Elfen Lied complete collection for Blu-ray and DVD, and this time it's actually coming out with the OVA because this is an old anime series that came out a long time ago, and it never got the OVA released, the 13th episode. And basically what happened was the original licensor, ADV, actually did license the OVA, but they never dubbed it, they never released it, they never did anything with it. They just licensed it and sat on it for years and years, and fast forward to now, it's getting a re-release with the OVA, and that's like really surprising that they're bringing it out. And it's also going to be coming out in Blu-ray formats, and it's just...
God damn it, Nep.
I'm excited! I never thought I'd actually get to see it. I'm so excited. And, right, so, yeah, there's that whole history of it, and it's great news! Moving on.
Okay, yeah, please.
The next story,
save
Nep, I
me.
don't think is actually relevant to much of anything, unfortunately.
What is it?
It's about bullies in Akiba in Japan. It's kind of just irrelevant. It's just news.
Is it not about anime?
It's not.
Then fuck it.
Yeah.
God
Sorry,
damn
Nep.
it.
I read the story before you got to it. So, next, this is you.
Yeah, this is mine. No, it's not. I'm
No,
just
this
kidding.
is. No, I wasn't talking to you.
I know. Jokes. Sorry.
Anyways, Nep.
Right. So, in promotion of the new Rosin Maiden anime, which more surprises because again, this is like another old series and it's coming back. For promotion for that, they're actually holding like a little contest where you can like create a new Rosin Maiden. Which Rosin Maiden in the series they're basically just dolls that come to life. They fight the other dolls, and that's the whole premise. And they're running a contest so you can create the 8th doll. It's not actually going to be like featured on the show itself. It's actually just a little contest to, get attention. And whoever wins, that's the cool thing is they're actually going to like create an actual doll of it. And like, well, that basically summarizes the news. It's just a good promotion for the series. I am surprised that the series is still continuing on. I'm excited for that as well. And shameless enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Shameless enthusiasm.
Okay. This is my news. I just thought this would be interesting to talk about. This is a poll for the top anime guys love and girls hate most from this year. They posted it on Crunchyroll. They always post like the Japanese polls. It's just interesting to talk about because it's just curious to know why girls don't like certain animes that guys like, whatever. So I'll just read the
God
list.
damn, Magical Girls #1.
Yeah, of course.
It's one of the best of them.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I'm just going to read the list. Magical Girl...
Starting from 1 to 10.
From 1 to 10, yes. Magical Girl Lyrical Nanoya?
Nanoha.
Oh God.
What?
He was laughing at you because of your pronunciation.
Oh.
The Idol Master, which is number 2, pretty much
Idolmaster.
personifies why Greg likes anime.
The Love Ru. Girls Under Panzer. Which, honestly, I don't understand why girls wouldn't like this show. Like, it's not that bad.
It's both. Okay, it's
Okay.
both in one list. I thought it was 2 separate lists.
Number 5, Strike Witches.
Greg's just personally offended.
Number 6 is what Nep said earlier. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Oremo.
Oremo. 7 is Photokano. 8, Sword Art Online. 9 is Naruko-san, Another Crawling Chaos.
Nyarko-san, Another Crawling Chaos.
Okay, yeah. Haganani.
And then Haganai is the last one.
Haganai. Madoka Magic.
That one's pure bullshit.
Sakai.
Saki.
I don't know.
Yuri.
Yeah,
And then
a show based off of Straight Yuri.
Yuri, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
14 is Oniai.
Infinite Stratos, Love Lives School Idol Project. Viva Dread Operations is a big surprise for me as well. 18 is...
You say this, wait. You say this as in the picture they're using to describe it is a backpack with a naked woman with huge breasts and stars on her nipples.
Okay, this is 18, though. That was not Viva Dread Operation. This is 18, which is... Somebody pronounced this...
You're reading the wrong picture.
Okay.
Oh, the Hentai Prince and the Stony Cat. Which, by the way, I read what this is about. It's not actually about anything hentai. Just so everybody can be clarified. 19 is a certain magical index. 20 is Manamikai. Nanamikai. 21, a certain sacrifice.
Scientific
or
railgun.
Because I suck at reading
You
fucking
want me to read 22?
I will read these and fucking fail at them, but it will be funny for everybody that's listening.
No, they'll just get frustrated. They'll be like, God damn it, no, say it right! Oh,
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling like that. I'm just keeping my mouth shut.
I know, that's why I'm doing it.
Props, Neb. You're just doing it. You want to piss everyone off. You're just like, yeah, suffer, bitches.
At least then we'll get emails.
Emails, hey, fuck you, you assholes.
The ambition of Oda Nabuna?
Nobunaga.
Oh my.
What, Neb? What? Get at me, bro.
23 is Oreshura. 24 is Hidamari Sketch. And 25 is...
Baku Monogatari. Monogatari. God damn it.
Baku Monogatari.
Okay. So, Neb, we wanted to go over some of these shows. I actually feel like some of these shows would actually believe that girls would actually like. Surprisingly, that Japanese girls don't like them. But you said on the news article that you wanted to go through some of these.
Yeah, basically. A lot of these shows, like, I think they actually have girl appeal. I don't get how they even got on the list for a lot of them. Like, starting off with Magical Girl Nanoha. Nanoha, okay, the first 2 seasons I can understand why, but like after that, like the series like just continues and branches off to the point that, yeah, like this is the kind of thing a girl can watch and enjoy. I mean, one of the mangas...
They have to go through 2 seasons in order to get to the part where it's actually good, Neff. That would be why they don't like it.
Well, it's I'm talking specifically about girl appeal. In terms of actual good seasons, the first 2 are the best.
3 dudes talking about anime have real good perspective on what the girls think.
This is complete. We don't know. We have no clue, but we're still going to say it anyways.
I will say, having I did my coming out of my shell type thing for Madoka Magica. Which is number 11 on this list. I will say that I thought it was relatively female empowering.
Yeah, that's what surprised me when I read this list.
Yeah.
I thought like the focus on like little girl type stuff was kind of dumb, but yeah, that's Moe, I guess. Obviously, I'll have my opinions later. The
bloodbath will begin.
but like I thought it was relatively. These are very powerful female figures. I didn't think it was like undermining anything.
Yeah.
Nope.
Except for the ending.
Strike witches?
What? What? Oh my god, you just drew first blood right there. You just drew first blood.
I'm going, nah. Stop it.
I just thought the ending was dumb because they
Oh
were
my
naked.
god.
No, they were naked. Why did they have to be naked?
Oh my.
That was what I was referencing.
I'm trying to stop this from happening.
Oh.
I wasn't saying like the concept was dumb. I was just saying like why did they have to be naked?
Okay.
I was going to a place where I
Whatever.
didn't want to get to yet.
Whatever, Greg. I'm just that's what I was specifically referencing.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that.
Strike witches, I also think has a lot of girl appeal, even though
What?
they're pantsless, but still there's still some appeal in there for girls. Like, it's not that bad.
Well, like what is this? Is this from Japan or from America?
No, this is all Japan. Crunchyroll doesn't do their own polls, unfortunately.
I'm curious. They should, but yeah, it's interesting. Like, what are like the favorite female Japanese animes?
Mostly slice of life, probably.
Stuff like Kimi Toroke, I think, is one of them.
I don't know that, so like
It's a shoujo.
I would be more interested in knowing what
it's more love interest between guys and girls, mostly, or guys on guys.
So something like Kids on the Slope style. Slice of life is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be, for conversation's sake, I would be more curious to see a list of like the top 25 animes that they like because, like then I would just I would get a feel for what they like about anime.
I think they had an article like that like last year, I think. It's been a long time since I've seen anything like that.
Yeah, because like I mean, like we I guess like we can speculate some
Top 25 anime girls love but guys hate.
Yeah.
One, you want to read this? So I just
Yeah.
Black Butler makes sense.
Where you got that from?
Udano Prince Sama.
Can I get a link?
Yeah, Greg's got it. If he posts the link, it's gonna mute us. So,
Yeah.
this is going from one down. Number 2 is Project K. Number 3 is Kuroko's Basketball.
Note that I can already tell that most of these are just guy animes.
Number
or,
4
like,
is
guys.
The Prince of Tennis.
Like, as you can tell, it's that.
Number 5 is Black Butler.
I like Black Butler, so I'm
Number
like.
6 is Hakuki. Makuoki, sorry.
No, H-A-K-U.
Oh no, Makuoki. Sorry, it's far away. I can't really read it.
Italia acts as power. It's like that show looks so dumb.
Gintama, Starry Sky, Sengoku Basara, Miracle Train, Magi. I'm just reading from the list now. Amnesia.
Tiger and Bunny.
A lot of
Blue
these
Exorcist.
A lot of these I don't really recognize. So.
Blue Code Geass. Wow, I didn't know. Guys hate Code Geass. What?
I think like this is
a weird...
I think this is like kind of just like a sexist thing, honestly.
Yeah, that's weird. Like
there's guys that like Code Geass.
No, guys hate Code Geass.
Like that's weird because I actually really like. Yeah, the same poll is here as well. Yeah, like it's weird. Japan does it weirdly. Like,
oh, fucking Detective Conan.
Yep.
So good.
Yeah, that's weird.
Guys hate Detective
That's on the
Conan?
list?
Yeah.
What?
I can understand why girls love that, but why would guys hate that? It's so good.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, well, just to get the different perspective on things. Like,
Yeah,
if
I
we
mean,
go back between the two lists.
This seems like a dumb sexist thing. Like, oh, girls don't like the animes where girls are you know,
the main
have less clothing or seem somewhat exploited, and then girls like the opposite, basically.
Yeah, no, I don't know who does these polls.
This seems kind of dumb, honestly.
I don't know who does these polls, but I just thought it would be interesting to talk about. That's all.
Yeah, I mean,
just to get a different perspective on what the two our differences are.
Like, it just frustrates me because, like, really, it doesn't matter. It comes down to everybody individual personal taste. Like, polls are such like a bullshit thing.
Well, that's why I just kind of brought it up as a discussion point.
Yeah,
it's
no,
mostly,
I mean, it's good to bring it up. I think it's sprouted an interesting conversation. But like, oh, girls don't like these animes and guys like them because like there's naked girls in half of them. Like, it just seems like a poll of that. Like, it's taking 8,000 people. It just seems like too narrow.
Yeah.
And it's like there's more to it than that. Like, if this was actually like big Japanese anime people who appreciate like high level stuff, they would probably.
I just feel like there was a survey in Akiba, and they just like walked around to all the otakus. They were just like, fill out this survey.
Right, you walk around all the otakus. There's people who generally watch anime, and it was like, this happened.
I mean, yeah, there's like a lot of these on the list that just like have cross appeal that made me go, what the fuck? Like, that's not even close to true.
Yeah, no, but like it's kind of interesting to look at Japan and see what they're kind of thinking. I mean, besides us, which we would think totally different about certain anime.
Again, very vertical slice though. There's only 8,000 people. There are millions of people on that island. So
yeah, no, you're right.
So it's
just perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving forward.
Nep, you had a link for Viva Dread Operation Hyper Intimate Power game preview.
Oh, that's the actual title, right? So yeah, there's gonna be like a downloadable V-Red game hitting PSN on June 20th, and well, you know more about the anime than I do. It's like the game's adaptation of the anime, and it's gonna have like extra chapters of story to it, and here's the thing that surprises me. Like, okay, this game's coming out for PSN only, not getting a disc release. And as a sale price for like the first 2 months of release, they're charging 5,000 yen for it.
Which is $50?
About $70.
Oh, $70.
Basically, to put this in perspective, like there's a lot of games on PSN in Japan for like the price of like 1,000 yen or 1,500 yen. So, you know, having this game that's just another game like them for like almost quadruple the price. Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know how popular that show is in Japan. I thought it was pretty good.
As per usual, Japan gets fucked on the prices.
But again, Japan doesn't know. Like, I don't know. It's weird. It's really depending on the person making the game, B, the animator, because the animator has to draw up all the stuff from the show into the game. And just a whole bunch of other stuff that goes into it. So I'm guessing maybe they're trying to compensate for something, and so that's why the price is so high. Or they just figure they're going to get a lot of sales, so they're going to raise the price because they know people are going to buy the game. It could be many different things. I mean, I don't know.
Wasn't there enough compensation by just going download only rather than, you know, making a disc version as well? Like, isn't that enough?
I don't know. Again, it might cost more to make the disc version than they would have been expensive. It costs
significantly more to make a disc version.
Well,
yeah.
To self-publish on PSN is very doable by anyway. That's why they let indies self-publish on PSN. But to do a disc-based version, even if you're only going to send 2 copies to a store like most Japanese games now, or like hardcore JRPGs now, it's really just it's more money than it's worth, basically. It's like you have to pay for pressing discs, pay for the logo's branding on the disc, pay for packaging, the plastic, the paper, the manual. It adds up when you're mass shipping it, which you have to, because it's the only way to make any kind of profit. Plus, if they go to stores, they're not going to fucking sell.
Mm-hmm.
These games aren't going to fucking sell.
Yeah.
Because, one, they're going to send 1 or 2 copies to a GameStop. They'll never promote it, and it'll go in the drawer and never fucking sell. It'll be wasted money. So putting it out on PSN is just, it makes more sense. I don't know why the Japanese
Again,
prices...
I have a feeling it's rather A, to do with the popularity of the show, and they know they're going to sell a bunch.
Yeah.
Or it's something else entirely. I don't know how popular the show was in Japan at all. I didn't see any readings.
Probably pretty popular.
It only ran for 12 episodes, so it was very short. So...
could be like a cult classic there.
Yeah, again, it could be cult classic. It could be something.
I mean, like
putting
it on the PSN seems like they're appealing to a minority. So if it is a cult classic, charging like a really expensive price for it, it'll sell to those like that limited number of people. They'll make a small profit,
and they don't really have to worry about it.
Yeah, and then they'll be happy.
And that's really probably what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So if that gives you any clarity, Nep.
Dropping the knowledge, bitch. I love it.
Yeah, and the worst part of it is I'm gonna be a whore and buy it.
You're gonna buy the one off the English PSN and the Japanese PSN.
Oh no, it will, that game will only come to JPSN.
Oh, I thought it was $20 on PSN.
No.
I read
What?
20th as $20.
Yeah,
like,
no, no.
oh.
Where'd you get that?
I said I read.
That show is not popular enough in America to be released on the
Yeah.
American PSN for
Yeah.
$70.
Yeah, but yeah, that makes way more sense. Yeah, no, they're definitely appealing to like a minority audience.
Yeah, no.
That's why they're overcharging.
And your last story, Nev, which kind of went on the story that I talked, or discussion topic that I talked about last time.
Yeah, this is kind of a thing that's been happening with the anime industry for a while now. Like, companies have been doing it differently, and I found a little quantifiable link I can provide that goes along with what I've been wanting to talk about for a while. But so there's a thing that Sentai is doing to combat reverse importation because for a while now, with Blu-rays, the way how it's a lot cheaper to buy it on English rather than in Japan. Companies have been getting way more paranoid about reverse importation. Having the cheaper Blu-rays being played on Japanese Blu-ray players because they're the same region now, and so you've had different companies that do it differently. Sentai is actually they're actually flat out blocking the Blu-ray player from even reading the disc. If you try and put it in a Japanese player, their own shows, it's going to display a message saying you can't play this at all. And Funimation, when you try to do it on a Japanese Blu-ray player, they disable the audio. And Nipponichi, they hardcore the subtitles onto the disc, and you can't ever switch it off. Every company has their own ways, and this is all about this crazy fear that Japan has now. I mean, it's even kind of steeped into the video games, with Persona 4. The whole region lock.
Yeah.
It's just Japan's getting really paranoid now with all this, just this importation.
I know why this is, though, because it's a lot cheaper to get the actual import from America.
Yep.
And
obviously
bring it to Japan. On top of that, Japan's going to charge way more for the DVD.
Yeah, because it'll sell in Japan. They have to charge it a lower price in America.
The reason that they're doing it is because it hurts their economy if people aren't buying the DVD from Japan.
Yeah,
so they're region locking it on purpose so that you can't, so they won't. People stop doing this. This is the whole idea behind it.
Yeah. No, it's it's business. It's basic business. They sell at a low price in America because they hope to push high volume.
That's why.
But they sell at a high price in Japan because they know they'll push low volume, but they'll make more profit on it because of the price.
That's why, on Amazon Net, when you see the anime come out for the first time, it's $60. But if you wait several months, it will go down to $30, and eventually it will just drop down to $20, and then I'll probably pick it up at that point because they will finally drop. No.
Same with the used game industry.
Yeah, they just drop price eventually. People will buy the show that they want to buy the day it comes out. Other people will wait, and then they'll pick it up. And that's why Japan, the same thing happens in Japan. They wait for the American DVDs to go down, and then they pick them up. In Japan, they don't really go down that much. They stay at a constant rate the entire time. Because they're trying to continuously make money, and they will refuse to bring down prices on things.
Although,
yeah. Go ahead, Neb. Sorry.
This is actually kind of hurting us as well because there's also extra restrictions because Japan has flat out forced companies like Funimation to delay a release. Strike Witches Season 2 was actually ready, dubbed, completed everything for an entire year before it actually came out. Japan had enough time to release their version, which came with our dub, with our subtitles, and released it, way before we got ours. And, it actually makes us delay stuff. And Funimation has had to do stuff just on the new release list right now. We had Heaven's Lost Property Season 2 on Blu-ray. That was a delay as well because they actually released the DVD only last year, and now we're barely getting the Blu-ray because again they're delaying it. They're forcing us to just. Oh God, I hate this.
Yeah, I mean the solution: buy a United States or Canadian Blu-ray player.
There's really nothing we can do now. I mean, it's just marketing.
Yeah, it's they're gonna put DRM on it because it's just they're a business. They're trying to make a profit. The benefit is that, with video games, region locking is serious because a console is very expensive, so importing like a Japanese console is a lot harder to do, but Blu-ray players are a dime a dozen nowadays, so importing a Blu-ray player isn't it's not terrible, but it is fucked up. They're going to do the DRM regardless because, again, business got to make money.
Oh God.
It's the sad truth, Nep. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Greg's starting to learn this with the video game industry, or at least I'm trying to teach him.
I do know that most PlayStation are unregion locked.
All PS3s are no region lock.
Yeah, so you can import any game from any place.
Yeah, unless the specific game has region lock,
Mm-hmm.
like Persona 4 Arena, for example. Yeah, I guess that's it for news.
Yeah. Now we'll go into a section that I created called Discussion Topics, which is basically we'll create a discussion topic each month to just go over. So I did one, and I said, what do you guys like better, sub or dub, and why? What do you guys prefer the most?
Nep, why don't you go first?
For me, it's not really a question of which one. It's just in my early days of anime, I watched everything in both subs and dubs because I was a nerd who had no life and had plenty of time, so I rewatched everything multiple times in both languages. That was the early me, and now I've got more stuff to do. I've got less time to do what I want to do, fun stuff. And so, for me with anime, I don't really have time to watch it both languages anymore. So basically, I just pick or choose based on a different set of factors, basically. Because, the first and foremost factor would be, is this series going to be, fully dubbed? You have stuff like, let's see, what's a good example?
I could use Persona 4 as an example, but it would be a different case example. Because the Persona 4 animation, the voice actors changes halfway through it.
Same thing happens in XL Saga. What the dub voice actor in XL Saga got some sort of sore throat, but they continued doing it anyways, so they had to replace the voice actor, and it's kind of jarring, personally, because it's just that change of voice is very, very noticeable.
Yeah, in Persona 4, the game to the animation, all the characters are the same, at least from Golden to the animation. All the voice actors are the same except for the character Naoto, which is a different voice actress. And Kanji changes after episode 12, that voice actor. Troy Baker no longer does it after episode 12, which I really do not like. That's really frustrating. For someone who's passionate about that, at least. But I don't know if that's what you were referencing, Nep, or
not quite. I was more referencing to stuff when it comes to complete dubbing, basically something fuck, you made me lose my train of thought.
I'm sorry. Basically, not completely dubbing the show, dubbing season 1 but not season 2.
No, it's more is everything of this series gonna come out in the U.S. in English? That's the first and foremost thing, because I import stuff. I have big collections. Strike Witch is an example where you have the anime is here and everything. The manga isn't, and neither are the video games. And I own 2 of the video games, so I don't want to memorize 2 sets of voices for something. So I'd rather just stick to one. And so most of the time I'm watching sub a lot because of that, because I just try and factor into just one singular experience, because I don't have time for multiple experiences of the same thing.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So, Alex, what do you like better, sub or dub?
I've always been a dub person. Because, I've been watching anime since I was a kid. That was always my experience. I've only really had experiences with good dub, for the most part. I mean, there's, examples like Yu-Gi-Oh! Out there, retrospectively, when you go back and listen to it, it's oh my god, this is fucking horrible.
Yeah?
But, yeah. Just watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1, Episode 1 again, and just fucking take it in.
To the Kaiba Cave! Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged.
But yeah, I mean, I'm biased to dub. I like to consume my content because, like, I watch TV. You know, I watch a lot
Alex
of.
is just really fucking lazy.
Nah, fuck you.
That's pretty much sums up what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, it seems a lot of the dub stuff is retranslated to, so it's more American friendly. I mean, sometimes there are cases like Detective Conan where I learned that they completely fucked everything by making it more American friendly. But a lot of the times it does help for stupid Americans like me, that don't get it. I respect subs. I respect like knowing direct translation as opposed to localized translation, because usually that's like the biggest difference. It's not like, oh, the voice acting's fine or whatever. It's usually like the translation style, because dubbing, obviously uses a very specific kind of localization depending on the production company. And they change it, they Americanize it, which usually I like. I prefer that. And it can be done artfully, like Kids on the Slope was done, in my opinion, in Cowboy Bebop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this feels like it was written by Americans for Americans, where it's it's just translated and cooperated into something that's consumable by an American audience. And I like that. I think that's like the coolest part about the dubbing process. And I also like that like there's to where we're at now in the late aughts, between JRPGs and anime and most animations, there's like this group of voice actors that are kind of like, at least somebody is in everything, like Troy Baker, for example, or God, what's her face? The girl who plays Laura Bailey. There we go, got it. Laura Bailey, like, she's in everything, and they're really good, and they know what they're doing. They're trained. They've done this before, and they're spreading across everything. And it's like, dubbing isn't like it was in the early '90s. It doesn't suck anymore. There aren't like really people that aren't used to being in a studio booth that don't know how to do voice acting, doing it just because they have to get it out. So that's something that I prefer.
Okay, that's cool. I personally, I started off with dub, watching a lot of dubs. But recently I've been getting into subs probably in the last 3 years or so. I've started watching more subbed animes. Really, I like both, personally. Both are a great way to watch, depending on which one I watch first. For example, if I watch a dub first, there's no way I can go back and watch the sub. I'm already familiar with those voice actors, and if I hear it in a different light, it just sounds weird to me. Yeah. However, I'm going to try to watch Kids on the Slope in dub form to see how much the drasticness of it is.
Hey, question.
Yeah, well,
Hey, Alex, you saw it in dub, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do they have an accent?
We'll get to it.
yeah, we'll get
to it.
Damn it.
Yeah, because, like, for instance, the dub on Kids on the Slope will be very different than the sub, I'm pretty sure. And it's just, yeah, I don't know, it's just weird to hear different voice actors do. Like, a lot of Japanese voice actors are women that do male parts, so it's just weird to hear that male character that you know in dub sound like a girl. It's just one of those things for me that changed the way you view as a show. For instance, I watched all of High School DxD in sub, and then I listened to the new promo trailer for the dub, and I didn't like it. I just didn't like the voice actors they chose. They didn't sound like the voice actors from Japan, and that's what I want. I want consistency in an anime. If they sound the way they sound like in the Japanese anime, then it sounds in the dub, then it will sound a lot better.
Also, speaking from that,
from me at least,
it is sometimes kind of astonishing how good they are at finding voice actors that sound like the Japanese voice.
No, it's very.
It's astonishing.
It's also amazing when you find an anime that is written or rewritten in the dub fashion exactly like it is in the anime.
Direct translation, yeah.
Yeah, direct translation. For instance, Gundam Wing does that. I've watched the actual. I've watched the sub and dub of Gundam Wing, and that wasn't as jarring as I thought it was going to be, because I stopped watching the sub and then started watching the dub for whatever reason. I forget why. But as I was watching the dub, I realized that everything they were saying in the dub was the exact translation from the sub, word from word.
Yeah.
So I like that. I don't like. I can understand in order to fit certain words, we have to change the Japanese saying of things on purpose because the mouth movements or whatever aren't going to match up.
But also to make it so general American audiences can understand the references.
Mm-hmm. But lately I've been noticing that a lot of dubs have been using direct translation, not even Americanizing anything, which is the raw version, and it's a lot better, I believe, than doing it custom.
Because obviously I'm on the opposite bandwagon. It really depends on the context of the anime.
Also true.
Like, something like...
For instance, like Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm pretty sure the sub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Would be completely different from the dub.
Different.
Yeah, like, that is Americanized hardcore.
Like, a lot of JRPGs are
JRPGs.
direct translation. For the most part. The ones that I'm experienced with. But, like, some animes that are, like, based around pop culture or something, like Cowboy Bebop, for example, that is very heavily localized, that's very changed for an American audience.
No, yeah, you're right.
And it really depends on the context.
For example, I could say XL Saga is a very Japanese dubbed anime. There is a lot of meaning going on in that show related to Japanese culture in 100% of the ways. There's references to other anime in that show. There's just a whole bunch. In fact, even The Melancholy of Haru Suzumiya is very Japanese-oriented because there's a very lot of meme stuff in there as well.
A lot of references in the dub of Madoka as well, I'll say. There's a couple big ones. Like that, it was clearly direct translation, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on to my next question. What is your favorite sub-anime of all time and dub anime of all time, and why? Oh, on top of that, I might as well add this. What do you notice when you watch a sub-anime and it's converted into a dub, and do you like it?
Persona 4 is the only one I've watched completely. I think they did a fantastic job.
So that's your favorite sub-anime of all time?
Yes.
Okay.
The sub to dub was expertly done, which applies to the game as well because it's all the same Japanese voice actors for the game.
Okay. What's your favorite dub anime?
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho?
It is old and incredibly well. It's not like the best dub,
but it's really good.
But for like a mid-90s translation, they did an incredible job picking actors from like Slim Pickens back then.
Yeah.
For like really good voice actors back then, they did a fantastic job.
Net?
Shit.
You're asking Nep to pick favorites. This is going to take 3 years.
Well, he's already wrote a note to himself, so I'm assuming he's going to talk about some of these shows.
All right. So my favorite dub would actually be Kikaider 01. That was an OVA. That's the kind of show that like I would probably never watch and sub. Like I tried to a little bit, and I really couldn't. Like it just firmly implanted to watch this in dub for me. Like that's the kind of show that like really brings out like raw emotion, and it just really gets a reaction out of me, and it's just really well handled, and I just enjoy it a lot. And like to me, those characters are the dub voices, so like that's something I wouldn't want to change. And as for sub, I pretty much watch everything sub now, so everything there.
Okay, cop out answer, whatever.
Cop out, yeah.
I got you. All right, so my favorite sub-anime of all time, that's hard due to the fact that I've just kind of started watching subs, so there's a few...
It should be you, Pody, for that one fucking episode.
God damn it. It's a pretty fucked up episode, though, at the same time.
Oh
Yupodi was a weird show. I'll talk about that.
Of course, like, that's the one episode that you...
What's Yuponi?
Yupodi's the one with the girls that are guns.
It's a
Upote.
Upodi.
Upote?
U-P-O-T-E or something like that.
I think I'm going to trust Nep on this.
Whatever.
Upote. Okay. I pronounce it how the last person that told me how to pronounce it tells me. No, don't get angry at me, okay?
That's probably not what it is, though, because that show, honestly, did really shittily.
They say it on the show.
I watched one episode, and I barely remember it. I just remember
I kind of blocked that show out of my memory after watching it.
after seeing the ending.
Only because there's some stuff in that show that's just fucked up.
That show's so fucked.
Like it's a cool show, but it's just.
Available on Hulu.
Yeah, it is. Right now, I'm going to say High School DxD. I really like that show. Had a really good sub. It kept me entertained, and it was a very good translation. Well, not translation. I shouldn't say that. It was a very good fan sub, I guess, because they're all usually fan subs.
And for your dub, you're not allowed to say Dragon Ball Z.
Of course not. It's going to be Eureka 7.
Okay.
My all-time favorite anime is Eureka 7, because it's really weird how I got into this. It was just on Toonami at one point.
Yeah, it was.
And I watched it, and then all of a sudden I started collecting it, and then I ended up owning everything. And then I really loved this show.
Yeah, that was like toward the end of Toonami, and then it went on to Adult Swim.
Or not Toonami, Adult Swim. Yeah. It was Adult Swim, not Toonami.
Yeah,
God damn it.
That's why I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, you're right. At this point, I'm just going to call Adult Swim Toonami because that's pretty much what it is.
It's what it is now, but back in the day, it was like Toonami disappeared, and we're all like, well, they're going to play anime on Adult Swim, so I guess...
Whatever.
Full Metal and everything else that we watch will be there. So
yeah, that show is just great though. It's got a great story. It's got great art. It's just got a great everything. Great dub voice cast. It's got Johnny Young Bosch, Stephanie.
I fucking love that kid.
I forgot what is her last name is. Stephanie something. It's got Crispin Freeman, I think, is in there.
Crispy.
Crispin. I think.
Sorry, I just wanted to say Crispy.
I think he plays Holland. There's so many other voice actors in this show. It's like,
but it's an all-star cast for you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, no, it's a great show. It's like there's so many good moments in that show, and I love it a lot. And I'm glad I own all of it plus the movie, so it's great. All right, and then on to the last question that I said. What do you notice when the sub you watch is converted into a dub, and do you like it?
Like I said earlier, for now, like more recently, because I've had to watch subs just because it was like stuff that interests me, like mostly Persona stuff. Like it's not going to get translated anytime soon. That was like where I was at with the animation. It was on how closely the voice acting matched up, like just the tone really and the style. And sometimes, obviously, the accents. I can't really pick up on the Japanese ones, but sometimes I can get a feel for it compared to how other people are talking. And yeah, it's like they actually really adapt like the sound of a voice in the American dub, or English dub, we'll say, surprisingly well. That's what I found recently. And I do like it.
Like I said, the most recent sub that I've watched that I liked a lot was I like a lot of them, but the one that's being dubbed by Funimation is High School DxD. And like I said earlier, after watching the sub and then hearing the promo trailer for the dub, none of the characters that are from that sub don't sound like the characters that I want to hear. Like they didn't. It feels like they didn't match them up correctly.
They didn't capture like the tone and the cadence and stuff.
Yeah, they didn't capture the tone of all the voice actors. I mean, like several of the characters are all right, but it just feels very odd. Like, I'm gonna say her name wrong. Nep.
Who are you thinking of?
Rise.
Rise.
There's another Rise? What?
It's yeah.
Fujikawa. Hashtag.
No.
Nep knows who I'm talking about.
I suck at translating names in Japanese.
Rise. All right.
She's played by somebody else right now on the dub, but she should sound more seductive in the show. She honestly sounds like an old woman in the dub.
In the dub.
And it's kind of annoying.
Like an adult woman? Or
yeah.
like an elderly woman?
Well, like, she's in high school. She sounds a little older.
She sounds like a mom.
Yeah, kind of.
That's weird. That was a lot of people's complaint about the original Chie voice actress for Persona 4, and the new one is much more like cheerleader, like spunky, like high schooly. So, how about you, Neb? While Greg looks something up.
Let's see, what have I noticed? On both sides of the fence, I've seen like sometimes where like there's discrepancies between like the voice acting basically, where like sometimes like the dub will fall flat in like the actual emotional aspects.
I'm sorry, Nep, to interrupt you. I was saying her name wrong. It's R-I-A-S.
What?
R-I-A-S.
R-I-A.
Rias?
That's why I wanted to say Rise. Raise.
I've never heard that name. Yeah, I have no idea.
Just put it through Google Translate. Rias.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
just take a guess.
Wow, there's a lot of nippleage going on right now.
What the fuck?
Of course, it's High School DxD.
I don't know what High School DxD is.
I to be honest with you, you might like this show. Like it's, I don't know, it's a fan fantasy, but it's interesting. Like it's got a good love story. In
Fan
it.
service tears me off so fucking much.
I know it does.
Anyway, back to you, Nep.
Right. There's like sometimes where the dub really doesn't like match the level of the sub, or the other way around. Like I've seen different examples for both sides, and I've also like noticed stuff where like sometimes Japanese characters have an annoying accent, and they get rid of it in the English. Like fun fact, Goku has an accent in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God they got rid of it.
He's also played by a woman.
Yeah.
That's why he has an accent.
So like I've noticed stuff like
Doesn't he
that.
have, like the Japanese equivalent of like a country accent.
Yes.
Yep. Thank God they got rid of it.
Do you hate
But
it?
well,
Honestly,
you don't hear the English ever saying y'all or something.
It's true. Although Goku just talks weird in general.
But yeah, like I can usually spot differences and stuff, but like yeah, I'm kind of neutral about them. Like I don't really think it unless it's like voice acting quality. Like in terms of like accents and stuff, I don't care too much usually, but voice acting, yeah, I do care, but yeah, I just pick up on stuff basically.
Greg is trying to use Google Translator to actually pronounce this. I have a third question here. Well, Greg violently listens to his computer speak this.
Ryasu, Gonanamin?
Ryasu, that's all that matters.
Ryasu? Yeah.
Okay.
What anime have you seen the sub and dub of, and like both? I'm curious. Like both equally. For me, obviously, it's Persona 4, because I can't shut the fuck up about it. But
I know you can't.
Oh god, there's a couple. I'm forgetting. Oh my god. Ah, fuck. There's some like I don't really care about which language it's on.
you want to answer while Nep thinks, Greg?
Is this a question
I just asked this.
what was it again? I'm sorry.
What sub and dub do you like both equally?
What sub and dub do I like both?
That you've seen both and you like both equally.
I'm gonna say Gundam Wing. Because I watched the sub on Crunchyroll and then I watched the dub a different way. And I gotta say that it's very well done in both, since they chose good voice actors.
Wait, which one? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Gundam Wing.
Oh yeah.
They chose very good voice actors for both. Both have very good translation. There's really no discrepancies in the show, and I really like the show. I mean, Gundam Wing at least is really good. I really like Gundam 00 too. That's just a personal thing. I haven't watched the sub of that. I've watched the dub. But yeah, so I'll say Gundam Wing.
You got one, Nep?
I'm actually trying to remember.
If you can't think of one, you can't think of one.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
All right.
Okay.
It's just a curious question.
Well, that ends our anime discussion. Well, not anime discussion, but our discussion topics, I should say. I'm sorry. For this month, we will take another break. We'll do our monthly.
Or two separate discussions, I guess, technically.
Yeah, no, that we're gonna have two separate discussions.
Two little quickies, quick animes.
Yeah.
Animes.
for our monthly anime, Kids on the Slope and Madoko Magic. So we'll take another break, and we'll be right back.
Alright, I have to go
Restroom time.
I have to go destroy my bathroom.
Yeah. Be right back.
God, I don't want to be implode.
It's your fault. The answer is yes. I'm curious.
Some more water. I'm gonna see if Scout's asleep. I don't want him to be like staying up too late.
There it is. Well, this is the one.
God.
You alright, Nat?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Tired?
I can stay awake for a couple more hours.
We're almost done. Thank you for staying up late to do this.
This is mostly normal for me. Like,
I wanted to show you this real quick. Because this is... I'll show you this, and then I'll show you... Oh, this ripped off. That's saddening to know. Ah!
I'll probably attach my phone.
I don't know where this goes. Whatever.
Do it with it.
Yeah. Alright. I wanted to show you this real quick, though. Because this is the... This is the dub trailer for High School DxD. And it just annoys me.
I can just play it on the YouTube app and
oh God, I'm tired. Somewhat.
Yes.
why didn't we think of that? I think I did say it. That's not like the adult voice.
Eh.
I've heard that
I don't
voice.
know.
I've heard that voice in dub. That's not out of place in my opinion.
I know, it's just like... I'll show you the sub after this.
No, let's just keep going because I know Nep's tired.
Okay.
I can stay awake for more hours.
Yeah, but I need to get to sleep because Nintendo's in at 10 a.m. So I want to.
Oh my God.
I want to be alive for that. Okay. I know what you're talking about, though. I have perspective. Okay.
Sorry. Okay.
Hey, question.
Yeah.
Okay, since one of the emails actually talks about Madoka, should that be included in the actual discussion of it?
Yes.
Well, yeah. Whatever.
Yes.
That's yeah.
That was what I thought going in. Like, oh, send in your thoughts so we can read it during our discussion about it.
Yeah.
Not separate.
Okay.
However, the first anime that's on there we'll read last because that's.
Yeah. Like if it's an irrelevant thing.
Yeah.
So, you guys want to do Madoka first?
No.
I do.
No.
I know.
Why?
Like I said, I knew this was going to be a bloodbath.
I'm actually really positive on it.
Nep is not, and I know why because he hates the show.
What, Madoka?
No, Kids on the Slope, and he wants to get it out of the way. I know because he's tweeted about it.
Well, then Nep can suck it up.
Dude.
I'm correct, aren't I, Nep?
Yeah, dude, it'd be better to end on a positive note.
Like I said, it's
we are going to be very positive on Kids on the Slope, so...
Yeah, the thing is, Nep, I have some issues with Madoka.
I liked both of them. So... You guys decide, I don't give a shit.
Kids on the Slope first.
Alright, host. What do you want?
Just do it in order, whatever.
Okay.
It's fine. I know where this is gonna go, though. It's just, like I knew.
I hope this doesn't end with all of us hating each other.
It is. It is. I know it is.
Oh god.
That's what I was thinking going into this. I'm like, we're just gonna fucking kill each other.
Hashtag you missed the point.
Okay. Okay, let's get back in.
Bring it in, then.
All right, guys, we're back. Hope you enjoyed another little musical break. I don't know. Maybe I'll have something else in there.
Put my ad in there.
Yeah, maybe that too. I don't know. After the fact, we'll talk about that. Anyways, so we'll go into our monthly anime discussion. Like I said earlier, our shoe shows again were Kids on the Slope and Madoka Magic. We're going to do Kids on the Slope first.
Pula pula Madoka Magica. Sorry.
Wow.
I just wanted to say that.
You've been waiting to say that for like ever, haven't you?
That's kind of like a rap thing you could make out of.
Yeah, we'll make that into like our beatbox then.
Boom, boom,
Pula pula.
boom,
Just have pula pula like loop in the background. Pula 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 pula.
Okay.
Kids on the Slope. So
Kids on the Slope. The summary of Kids on the Slope is basically in the summer of 1966, Kaoru Nishimi, he's moved with his relatives in
Kyushu. Sorry.
Kyushu. You watch the dubs, so you know how to pronounce these. That's another reason why I wanted to watch the dubs to pronounce names better. He's been a law honor student.
Aloof.
Aloof.
You want me to read this?
Whatever.
That's an English word.
He's been an aloof honor student his whole life, meaning he hasn't really cared. He's just been like good at school.
Yeah.
But then starts changing when he meets Sentaru Kawabuchi. He's the notorious bad boy. Through him, he learns the appeal of jazz and forms his first real friendships. So, I had quick questions. Do they refer to his Nishimi as Richie in the
Yes,
in the
they
sub?
do.
Okay. Where are the other characters? There's only 3 here.
There's 3 here, but there's 4. There's like 5 different other characters.
There's like 5 more important characters. I can't remember.
Whoa,
their names.
gee, why don't you actually update the doc?
Because I don't know where to get this information. I'll look. Actually, I can't. Greg, you look at it.
You guys talk about kids real quick.
If I type, it's going to mute us. All right, so we'll preface this. Nep doesn't like it. Greg and I really like it. So Nep, let's get your whining out of the way first. What didn't you like about it? Well, you know you're being a nitpicky little shit. All right.
Like I said, it's gonna be a bloodbath, guys.
And I'm not even drinking. I just don't have a sensor. I really enjoyed it. So Nep, why didn't you like it? Oh, because the main character was whiny. You missed the point, Nep. Come on. This isn't even a discussion anymore. I'm just talking to myself.
God.
Yeah, no, you are.
All right, go Nep.
Honestly, because I can relate to Kaoru. I'm not the type of person who can deal with a person like me. Like, two me's cannot exist together. Like, that's the kind of person I am. And because of that, like, I naturally didn't like Kaoru because he's thinking the way I do. He's acting the way I do. You know, he's me, and I don't like it.
Yeah. So
And-
you're self-critical. That's why you didn't like it.
Well, there's that.
But what about the other characters?
Kawabuchi was confusing. Like, you have this like bad boy who, for some reason, like connects to Kaoru. Like, I don't get the reasoning behind that. Like
Sorry,
just
I'm
from
laughing because we both know.
Yeah.
I feel like you watch this watching it as a slice of life anime, but not reading in too much into it, and missing some of the major points of the show.
Well, I mean, let Neb finish.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you think.
I'm sorry. It's just
Go ahead, Neb. I'm sorry. we're not gonna be dicks to you. I genuinely want to look at this from a critical standpoint. I want to know what you didn't like and what you did like. I think it's very interesting that you related to Kaoru. That's just keep going.
I don't really want to be negative. That I don't like being negative.
Okay, were there any parts of it that you really liked? Because I take it you're not a big fan of jazz.
Nope.
Okay.
Ritsuko as a character, I like. Like I like her, just her as a character when she popped up. She was a good. She was a good glue for the characters.
I agree. Greg, can you put like little descriptions? Because I'm so terrible with names. I don't know who any of these people are.
okay.
I'm
Okay,
dumb.
I got you. Just keep talking, guys.
Keep going, Neb. Like, it's okay to be negative. Don't be just like senselessly negative. Be critical. What did you think it could have done better?
I don't like the message that if you got problems, you can run away from it. And two characters did that, and they succeeded with their lives. Like I don't like that.
Okay.
Then don't watch fucking Toradora.
Toradora. Ryan loves that.
I know.
Sorry, mutual friend Ryan likes that anime. Have you ever seen Toradora? Yep.
Yeah.
Did you like that? I don't know much about it.
I liked it until the ending.
All right, continue.
I'm trying to think of.
I mean, I can.
I don't. Just throw stuff at me.
What'd you think of? Well, you've kind of like laid down the point. You know why you didn't like the main character. I mean, I can talk about some of the stuff I dug about it if you want, and then maybe that can give you some points to think of if you want.
Okay, yeah, we can do like a yin yang thing.
Yeah. So obviously, Kaoru Richie is a very largely unlikable character. I mean, it's really obvious that he's like very specifically unlikable. And like it serves a purpose. Like, he's this kid that like throughout he moves from town to town. He's never in one place long enough to find anything that he actually gives a shit about. He never met a teacher that inspired him. He never had friends because he was always moving around. And he's just like an asshole to everybody because he doesn't know how to talk to people and be a human being, basically.
That's how he came off in the dub, really?
Yeah, I mean...
That's surprising.
No,
because
that's...
he sounds way different in the dub.
No, he doesn't like act like an asshole. It's just that he comes off as one because he doesn't know how to talk to people.
I had kind of like a different perspective of that.
Well, let me explain first. Like, he has no friends, and when people get around him, he gets nauseous, and he has to find his ground because he doesn't. really know how to communicate with people. I mean, that's just true. That's not even like how something came off. That's how he was.
Well,
Yeah.
But like on top of that though, like because he's always constantly being moved around by his father,
Yeah.
he didn't have any friends to begin
Yeah,
with.
no, that's
nor
why-
did he understand how to interact with people.
Yeah,
at all.
that's what I said.
Okay, I didn't know if you mentioned that.
You were typing, so.
Yeah, no, but I was busy.
No, yeah, he doesn't know how to be a friend to anyone. He doesn't know how to have friends, which I thought was really interesting. It made him, like, hey, this is this unlikable character, not because he's a shitty person, but because he just never really got a chance to be a person. Which, until they make him into a likable character at the end, I thought was really just interesting. It was an interesting perspective. And I like what Richie represents, like what you and I were talking about, Greg, like just like a deeper meaning. And then just like it's his coming of age tale. It's Richie's coming of age tale. It's his first love, his first friend, his first thing, which is jazz, which is like completely opposite of what he is. Oh, I play classical music. It's like the opposite of, he becomes the opposite of himself, and he grows, and like that's why it's like this coming of age tale.
Yeah, definitely.
Which
That's something I have a problem with as well. Like, why did he spark this interest in jazz? Like, it's just, the thing is, he tried to prove himself at first, but then like the next episode or an episode and a half later, he's into it. Like, how? Why?
It's because when
there's not
Sentaro-
enough development.
It's been when Sentaro.
when he was playing the drums.
Yeah, he watched him play that, and he realized that was really awesome. But on top of that, when he played mono for the first time, he told him that he was playing it wrong.
Yeah.
And then when he said that, he said, "No, you're not playing it with feeling."
Yeah,
he
he's like.
then said, "Okay, I will now go practice this song."
So he takes the Monin record and he listens to it and he hears what Centaur's talking about. He's like the rhythm, the soul. Which
and
he tries to recreate it and he's like, why can't I recreate this? Why can't I do this? He ends up getting frustrated because that's who he is. Like nothing's been like difficult for him. Like remember, he's like this aloof honor student. I'm good at everything and I just don't really care. But he can't get it. He doesn't get it. And then when he's watching Centaur play the drums, what he sees is like the soul of it, which is like what I took away from it. Jazz is very soul music. Mm-hmm. That's why it's like good. It's always described as jazz is good for the soul. It's there's more to it than just music. It is than just playing the notes. It is the feeling behind it, the emotion that is transmitted through the music.
Mm-hmm. And that's when.
And he just gets it.
Yeah, and then in the second episode, when Brother Jin walks downstairs, and he says, "You want to play?" and then they reveal other instruments.
I don't know how to play.
And then he's like, "They're just
do it.
Just go with us."
Yeah.
And then he just starts playing, and he realizes that he can play anything, and it doesn't matter. It all sounds like music.
Yeah, because Centaur's just like just make noise, and it's just that's when it clicks for him. It's just like, I get it. This is music from the soul.
This isn't about rehearsing notes.
Yeah, this isn't about knowing the notes. This is about just playing what you feel.
Yeah.
And that's why he got really into it, because he never had a thing.
He never had friends. He had nothing. This is the first person that ever made him...
That ever gave him the time of day.
Yeah, that ever looked at him as somebody that he could be a friend with.
Because he saw... Because originally... Kaoru's like, I need to get to the roof, and Centaur obviously saw like some weirds happening. This guy doesn't look that great, so he just lets him do it, because Centaur is the kind of guy that roots for the underdog. He's looking out for the underdog. So it was just it clicked. There was no like, why did he get into it? It was a natural thing. It was just like the way it came off in the dub, at least. It was just like. Because there's the commentary, which I really liked Richie's commentary throughout the whole thing. I thought that was awesome.
His monologues in the thing?
Yeah.
Those are great. Those are fantastic.
Because they really describe, like, it...
It gives you what he's thinking.
But, like, on a higher level.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, this takes place over the course of, like, 4 years, and then 8 years later. I don't know. It gave me the little the little information that was subtext, but I just needed to affirm to myself. And it was just like, he gets it. It's jazz. It's a natural soul rhythm, and like that's like the idea behind jazz in the first place.
And that's actually the first episode is really the episode that got me hooked to this show. Like honestly, the first episode, Mono, which is the song that we just referenced, Monin. When like at first I was kind of
Mono's a disease, dude.
Mononucleosis.
Yeah, no,
I've had it.
I'm sorry.
Sucks, bro.
Monin. When like at first I was like, okay, this isn't interesting. I wonder where this is going to go. And then when he went to the roof and things, I was like, okay, I wonder why.
I really like that he gets nauseous around people and has to find his base. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Not like in a like, oh, what a nerd kind of way. I was like, that's such a real thing.
Yeah, like
there's
probably people that are like that. Like it brings
cough.
I'm saying it was funny because not like in a ha-ha way. It was like, it's such a real thing that I've never seen that in any kind of like adaptation of anything.
Honestly, this show is the most realistic type of anime I've ever watched. Like in the sense of being there and not like being ridiculous or being even just a slice of life that is ridiculous.
Or characters that act like really out of character or odd or even for their culture or whatever.
Yeah. This is like very accurate and everything. And the fact that like the way that it works out that he just ends up going into this record store and then realizes, it just kind of clicks like, oh, this is a thing?
It was like, I mean, I like music. Oh, I play classical music.
Do you have any classical records?
The opposite of jazz.
And but the guy's like, we only have jazz.
Yeah.
We don't do classic.
Yeah. It was just like, it was like a strange set of circumstances that led him to something that would change his life. Which it was great. It was such a good, like, because again, the first episode shows you like this unlikable character of him.
You're muted.
This slope is like walking up the slope. Dumb. This school is dumb. Everything sucks. All this is dumb, and it's like what am I supposed to care about with this character? Because he's just frustrated with everything, and it's just like by the end of it, he's grown so much. Yeah, you start to really just love him as this cool underdog. That's he's becoming like an adult.
Hopefully that clears some stuff up for you, Nep.
Do you understand why we appreciate it, at least?
I guess so.
I guess. Like, the character was so relatable.
It's the fact that they use music to emphasize the points they're getting across.
Yeah, and this
the music is the words for them.
Yeah,
it's not like they need to use words in order to show things.
Like, oh my god, that fucking
well, hold up one second.
Oh my god,
let's actually.
You know the episode I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I know. We'll get to that here in a second. I just wanted to actually
that fucking scene.
Yeah,
I almost broke down during that scene. It was fucking incredible.
What?
Let's actually talk about like. Okay.
You want to go episode to episode?
Yeah, episode to episode, and let's go over the actual characters because we actually haven't gotten to the rest of the characters that I wrote down.
So we got Richie, the main character, obviously.
Richie, which is Karu Nishimi.
Nishimi,
I'm sorry. Sentaro Kuwabachi. He's the friend. Kawabuchi. He's the friend of Karu.
The bad boy.
Yeah. Rutsuko, which is
Karu's childhood friend.
Childhood friend, and later
or Centaur's childhood friend.
Yeah. And then later becomes Karu's girlfriend.
No, kind of. That never really becomes a thing.
Yeah, but
because he just fucks it up at every.
Yep.
Just be quiet. Shush. I can believe this. Anyways, Brother Jin, which is Junche.
He was my least favorite part about the show. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we'll explain. And then.
No, don't. We'll explain that. We're talking about the characters. Let's talk about the fucking character.
Okay, fine.
So, Brother Jin.
I
mean, I liked him as, like, this... He is, like, everybody's cool older brother, right?
Yeah, he's like that, but he also creates his own kind of side story in the show, which is relatively interesting.
It was a little hard to follow, though.
A little hard to follow, but I understood.
You only saw, like, half of it.
I believe what happens is there's an episode where they explain where he's at college and he's doing something. I believe
He
in, like,
becomes
this,
part of like this like rebellious civil rights thing.
yeah, but that's like the '60s kind of stuff. Like I'm pretty sure that it was adopted from sort of American type.
No,
thing.
it was
I
because-
feel
No, that was a real thing.
No, that was a thing. It was because they were
Yeah.
raising college tuition like extremely in Japan.
yeah, again, that's yeah.
That happened, like, and
Yeah.
it was like a huge thing in Tokyo where he was going to school about it, and then he just got sucked into it, and he started really preaching and believing it too. Especially when his friend that was like leading it got arrested,
Yeah.
and then
He
he
continued
was
in the-
just kind of like left with it in his lap, and he's like,
I don't know.
he did it for his friend, but he didn't think he could do it, so he ran away.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's he's got that's a really interesting side story. I kind of found it interesting. I don't know. Like I found him to be like a huge dick.
Yeah, I mean
Like-
that's what he was. He was just a huge dick.
But like the first few episodes that he was in, it was really cool. The first episode where they do a jam session,
Yeah.
he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's like he was the definition of everybody's cool older brother, because like, oh, he looks so cool, he acts so cool, he's definitely so cool. He's the guy that girls swoon for, and then you find out like he's like a total schmuck.
And then the second, or a few episodes later, when they do a Christmas episode, when they're at the bar, you listen to it in dub, but they play music, and then one of the American guys gets really pissed off and starts yelling. They
Yeah.
actually have an American guy actually talk in the song.
Yeah, I'm surprised they
That
actually
surprised
got
me.
it right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
that
good.
surprised
That was
me.
just-
That's why, again, you watch the dub, so it's really different.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. That was one of the things I was gonna ask.
When the American
about.
guy starts yelling at him, and he talks about like how black people in America are
Yeah,
playing this-
don't play black jazz.
Yeah.
And that surprised me. Like I didn't expect.
And
like, an
I
actual
love
American
that
accent.
Centaur gets so fucking pissed at that too.
Yeah, and then he just sits down, and then Brother Jin tries to salvage the night. He actually sings in English.
He sings in English?
Yeah, that song he sings
Yeah.
in
It
English,
was obviously English.
which
for me.
surprised the shit out of me. Like that
'Cause
was
they-
really good fucking
so
English.
they
Yeah, it
usually-
was.
So you were asking me, Nep. Yeah, that was very lounge singer English right there.
Yeah, no, like I don't know if that was like the actual song. That
I
they
think that
used.
was the American voice actor.
Yeah, that's what I want to
because
say.
it sounded like him.
Yeah, but like in the Japanese version, like when he started singing, I was like, "What?"
Centauro has an accent.
Mm-hmm.
Nep. In the dub.
Okay. What about Ritsuko?
She has a little accent. It's not very noticeable though.
I don't. No, I haven't watched it yet, the dub yet. The only reason I want to watch the dub now is just to hear the English
It's
voice
actually
actors.
really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know like how the tone or like the sound of the voice compares, but I thought it was fantastic.
Mm.
Are there like which characters have an accent in the sub?
Well, they all have an accent. They're all Japanese.
No. Kaoru and Yurika don't. Junichi, I don't think he does. Ritsuko's dad, I think he does. I
He
didn't
has,
pay
he
too
has
much.
an accent in the dub.
Yeah.
Ritsuko has an accent.
Yeah. All of the brothers and sisters of Sentaro does.
Yeah, so they do too.
It's because the town's kind of like
It's a seaport
Yokel.
town.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
It's like people from kind of all over the place.
yeah, it's a fishing town.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually Brother Jin. Well, actually, I'll go into another character and we'll go back to Brother Jin because it's kind of like this weird thing that happens in the show.
Yeah, and then Eureka.
Yeah, Yorika.
I didn't like her either.
She-
I feel like she had potential, but like they should have done, your standard arc where she falls for the Brother Jin, but then he ends up being a dirtbag, and then she goes for like the real cool dude.
Yeah, like the way that she was set up, like when Kato set her up on a date to go out.
So-
Like the whole little bit of confusingness that happened in that date because she asked which one was the person that asked her out, and Sentaro immediately pointed to
Richie.
Richie. That was amusing a little bit, but that really didn't lead up
I
to anything. but-
love how he just choked around her all the time. That was hilarious.
yeah,
Richie did the same thing, obviously, around
Ritsuko.
Ritsuko.
But the way that she just kind of evolves the first time she meets Brother Jin, you automatically realize that she's falling for him, and you're just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I wanted it to be like this kind of lesson in infatuation. Like it's a normal thing for coming of age tales. Like again, he represents the cool older brother that ends up being a dirtbag. I wanted her to see him for a dirtbag and then ditch him like she should have instead of like going after him. But like
Yeah, like later on they do show like an episode after Brother Jin leaves college. He kind of just like fades out and becomes.
He's living in the basement.
He's drinking and shit.
He's drinking every day, smoking way more. And...
Yeah, and like, and then he finally gets an apartment, and then she meets him, and then they discuss the time where he kissed her, which was never shown in actually any of the episodes.
Yeah.
That was just kind of, I guess, implied.
They mentioned it.
And like that whole like.
There's a moment where they talk and then it cuts away.
Well, it cuts away, and then like that whole entire scene itself was really kind of just like, oh shit, might happen.
Yeah.
And then she kind of just lays it off, like.
And she's like, I know
really
you're
bad
not
for
actually
you.
like this.
Yeah. And then she cuts her hair, and then you're like, holy shit, this is happening.
Oh my god.
That whole scene was kind of like dramatic in all senses.
It was like a well directed scene, but again, it was just like in comparison to the actual plot, it was an uninteresting side story to me.
Yeah, and they wrap it up relatively quickly.
They wrap it up, and then it's like, all right, back to what you guys actually give a shit about.
Yeah, like, but I still found it interesting. Like the very last second, Jin chose to bring her on board the train. Like that happened. Like as they were.
That was cute.
Yeah, that's what made that was the saving grace of that whole entire.
That was
arc.
That was Jin's saving grace.
Yeah,
like him not being an idiot to himself.
Yeah. So like, that's just kind of the two connections of two characters that are slightly less relevant.
They're relatively irrelevant to the main plot.
Yeah. So
I'm guessing you hated that side story, Nap.
When you have a problem, run away and it fixes everything. Hooray.
I mean, like, Brother Jin, obviously, he was, like, wrapped up in this thing. I understand his reason for leaving, but I'm glad he didn't just leave her on the side of the fucking road.
Yeah.
Because she was obviously, like, the best thing in his life at the time, and it was like, don't fucking do this to yourself, and don't do this to her if it's not necessary. Honestly, like they were trying to get the point across, like, they were made for each other.
I did like her haircut, though. Like, I don't know, it's weird. I like the way that her hair looked after it was cut.
I hate short hair, but
like, but that was just, like, well, it was interesting. I don't know. It just changed the way she looked and acted.
It was weird. I still don't understand why she did it.
Yeah, but...
It's a Japan thing. Well, an anime thing. Basically, hair represents, like, the life of a girl, and, like, their hair is their life, and so, like, when they cut it, it's a symbolism that, like, their hearts got broken by somebody. It's such an anime thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would not have known that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that we've gotten
Naruto makes so much more sense. Sorry, I had to bring it into terms I could understand.
Okay.
What, it happens in Naruto?
Yeah, Sakura cuts her hair.
Oh yeah.
But
that point, she's like, "I'm gonna be a man,"
and then she's
a man.
Then she's a bitch. Anyways,
shut up.
All right, now let's go into the individual episodes. Let's actually break down the actual show itself and talk about.
I think we've talked enough about episode 1.
Yeah, we definitely talked about Monin. Monin. Sorry, God damn it, I suck at this. Monin.
That's why I'm here.
I know.
Just moan and we'll get it.
I'll pull it up.
Yeah, Alex is gonna bring up the episode list.
I love that they're all named after famous jazz songs.
Also, very true. I'll let Alex bring up the show list real quick.
Episode 2.
Is it the B one?
Summertime.
Oh, Summertime. That episode. I like that episode
that was the beach.
Where they all just kind of go to the beach and they get on the boat and they go to that island.
It was a nice for Richie. It was like that moment where he's like,
I have friends.
He was like, this is like me just chilling with friends.
Less jazz. More just kind of.
Yeah, this was focused on like character development
and things like that. It was the first time that Yukari showed up, yeah, and that's where she started. Episode 2.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. I'm sorry.
Someday My Prince Will Come.
That's where he plays the song "Someday My Prince Will Come."
Yep.
On the piano. He doesn't play it for Ritsuko yet.
Yeah, he starts learning it.
Yeah. And not too much happened in that episode, I believe. That one's a little fuzzy on me.
Yeah, I don't really remember that one. I think that was when Jin showed up.
Yeah, that's when they did the jam session.
They started jamming as like the 4 of them.
Yeah,
with Ritsuko's dad, Sentaro.
By the way, Ritsuko's dad, pretty awesome guy.
That dude was dope.
Like that guy knew what's up. He played that upright bass like a motherfucker.
Dude, yeah. Upright bass. Sorry, comedy button reference.
Yeah.
Episode 4 was But Not For Me.
But not for me. They played another jazz song. I remember that. What happened in that episode? Fuck.
Was that? No, that was 5. The 5 was the C, like the bar one, right? The Christmas bar.
What is it called? What's the episode called?
Lullabies.
You remember them by name?
No, Lullabies of Birdland. Oh
yeah, no, 6 was the bar one.
Yeah, Lullabies of Birdland was different. Was that episode? Which one was the one the church to?
Here, can we hold on a second? Just cut this part because I have to type and.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right, Nep, you won't be able to hear us while I'm typing, so just hold on for 1 second.
Okay.
Alex's resets of each episode.
He can't hear us because I'm typing.
Well, for continuity of what's happening in the podcast.
Or you could always just cut this out.
Or I could cut
but not for me. Carter's having difficulty improvisation.
What the fuck?
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. Alex looked up the individual summaries of the
Episode 4 is about
to jog our memories.
Carter discovers Centaur's birthday is Christmas Day.
Okay, yeah.
Gets a set of drumsticks for Centaur. Bumps into Ritsuko.
Okay. Let's
They have the same idea.
Yeah. Wait, what episode is this? 5?
It's 4.
4? Okay, 4. Okay, so that episode particularly, I kind of want to go over this.
Episode 3 was the double date episode.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, episode 3 was the double date episode.
Where he finds out that Ritsuko is in love with Centaur.
Yeah, and he acts like a complete dick to it, and then he realizes it all of a sudden. He runs over to her. Well, he doesn't actually say anything. He sees her crying, and
someday my prince will come.
Yeah, that's what that was.
Yep.
I remember now. And then, and then episode 4 or 5 is the drumstick one, right? You said?
Yeah.
That one's really interesting, only because he realizes. What was it? Doesn't realize that like
he can't have Ritsuko.
He tries kissing her. That did happen.
That happened in the episode before.
Or yeah.
When he tells her he loves her.
Yeah.
Dumb ass.
Because again, like he doesn't know how this works.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's
like,
never had a chance to do that. That was an interesting episode.
It makes sense for the character. It was dumb, yes. I'm not going to deny that, but like it made sense for the character because it's fascinating. In like the first episode, you hear his inner monologue. And he's like, "What is this feeling? Why is my heart pumping faster? And why do I feel flush in the face? Like I don't understand." It was like he was falling in love for the first time. I love how they show that. They show that very well.
I also like the fact like he throws the drumsticks at him because he sees Centauro with his like family members and he gets really jealous that he has got an awesome family.
He's like, you don't know what you got.
And then Centauro pulls him up to the church, if I remember correctly.
Well, that's episode 4, so we're not quite there. I was saying.
Or 6, 4, 5, 6.
I'm not sure. Let me.
I know that happens.
I've got the list up here, so I'm trying to go through it.
I'm sorry, guys. We're all a little fuzzy because it's been like a week or two.
Like the last 6 episodes, I know really well, but
yeah, I do too.
The beginning part, it's like after 7 was like when it was clear, and then it was before then was when it was fuzzy. But 4 is they get the drumsticks for him, but they decide to get him. They each get him one. That's when Karu kisses Ritsuo without her permission because he has no idea what he's doing. And like I totally understand why you were frustrated with that character nap, but like you have to understand like he has absolutely no idea what he's doing. That's why he does all of these completely stupid things.
He's been alone for like almost all of his life.
He's had no one to rely on but himself. And like you can look at like his cousin and his aunt and how they just treat and talk to him.
And then another episode later on when they had to do like another summer episode when okay, that actually leads up into episode 7. So I'll talk about that.
Yeah. But like you can look at the family that he lives with for the longest amount of time, which is his high school, and it's like they treat him like shit. Like he lives in a shitty environment. The only parent he ever had was his dad. He never sees his dad. He's seen him like twice in his whole life. He lives with his aunt, and his cousin's a bitch. And like he has no friends, he has no family members that he can rely on or talk to. He has nobody he can rely on. He's just got himself. So when it comes to falling in love and like doing things that he thinks are right, he doesn't know that they're wrong. Which Nep, obviously you said you related to him too much, and that's why it frustrated you. But like you have to understand that that's where he was at, and that's why he does all these stupid things. But again,
Also, he was 16.
he's redeemed at the end. I mean, he's 18 when he does the dumbest of things.
Yeah.
And also I think the most difficult tone or part of the tone of this show that's very difficult to get across. This takes over the course of 4 years.
In 12 episodes.
In
so
12
it's
episodes,
a lot of condensing.
a lot happens between each episode. Like a lot of, I guess we can still be friends and talk again. Happens between each episode. So like the episode after he kisses Ritsuko. I'm terrible with names. Like a huge bunch of time passes, and it's like they made amends between that, but we never see that because there's not enough episodes to show all of that.
It's just kind of implied that it's happening.
Yes, a lot
which works. It works very well in the show.
That's why it's like this is more like a mature audience show because it's a very heavily implications, a lot of subtext instead of just context.
Mm-hmm. And moving on to episode, what is it, 5?
Well, 4. Yeah, Centauro drags him off to the church where he explains that he's actually half American. So
that whole section there.
That was great.
And then they play Mono again.
Monin.
God damn.
Mono? Where are you getting Mono?
I don't know. It's the way the fucking things
Alex,
go.
you're giving him mono.
Also, I'm dyslexic, so I immediately assume...
It doesn't matter. There's way more letters in there. You know it's got to be longer than Mono.
I'm sorry, I'm a dumbass.
Like you were talking to me about Monin before, and you could bring the title to me.
I don't know. Whatever. Continue. People are gonna hate me by the end of this. I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's when they do
Monin.
their live performance of "Blowing the Blues Away" in the bar.
In the bar,
And they're interrupted by the drunk foreigner.
Yeah, that whole episode was great.
And then Brother Jim plays "But Not For Me." He sings that.
Yeah, but not for me. Yeah.
With Kaoru, Richie boy. And then episode 5, Lullaby of Birdland.
Is this the episode that I think it is? Is this where they get on the train and go?
Kaoru and Ritsuko are unable to look at each other in the eye
that's
after
not.
the events of the previous episode. Eureka shows up and sees them practice. Is infatuated with Brother Jin.
Yeah, this is where...
She fell in love with him when they were outside the bar.
Yeah.
That's when he kissed her, but
Yeah,
they never showed that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to read it quickly. Centauro convinces Kaoru to go to Tokyo to meet his mom.
Yeah, okay, so this episode...
And then she shows up.
This episode is great, though. Like, honestly, the way that this episode works is fantastic. Because Centauro, has never seen his mom.
Kaoru, not Centauro.
No, Centauro, too. He's only met his dad.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And Centauro is the one that kind of pushed him to this.
Doesn't Centauro live with his mom?
No, I don't think so. I think he lives... No, maybe he does.
I thought, he's with his... Yeah, no, because his dad beats the shit out of his mom.
Yeah, but then he shows up later on in
Yeah,
the
his
show.
dad shows up, but he lives with his mom.
Okay,
And
you might be right.
And all of his brothers and sisters.
Yeah, okay. But anyways, like he said, or like Alex said, his dad... It's kind of like the Simio situation.
It's the opposite situation.
Yeah, with a different parent.
Yeah.
And so Centauro, Kaoru just decides, okay, I'll do this. To clear my head, to get rid of the images of Risco in my head that I really fucked up and shit. And I'll get on the train, go to Tokyo, and meet my mother.
Centauro just shows up.
He just shows the fuck
great.
up. He's like, where
Centauro's...
the fuck did you get the money for this train ride? He's
Centauro's the real bro.
Yeah.
That's what we learned here. Centauro's a true bro.
Yeah, and then they get on the train together, and he's just, eating oranges and shit, and Kaoru's just so pissed. He's just like, what the fuck are you following me? God damn it. And then they finally get there, and then he realizes that his mother does not work at the best place. I forget what it is. Is it, some sort of...
She works at a pie shop, I believe.
Is it a pie shop, or was it...
Do you remember Nep?
The way he reacted was more like he didn't... He thought that it was a bad place to go into.
But, yeah, she used to sing.
Yeah.
And he gives Kaoru...
I thought it was more implied that it was more like an adult-oriented building, not...
I didn't... No, there was an office building next to it.
Yeah, that's... I don't know. It's just the implication from the sub made it seem like it was...
No,
more
she worked at, some kind of, just small town shop.
Okay.
I believe. I could be wrong, but, And he, his mom is it's good to see you. She didn't reject him like he thought she was going to.
Yeah, and then the fact that he hasn't seen her in forever was a big thing, and then the fact that Sentaro just kind of left him alone to go walk around and let Karu talk to his mother was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and then he gives her a jazz record.
Yeah, Lullaby Birdland.
Lullaby Birdland, and tells her to practice singing it for the next time he shows up.
Which was really cool.
That was really
that
sweet.
episode was very interesting.
And then Karu comes back to start playing jazz again. Because, of course, this is like months and months after.
Yeah.
Weeks and weeks, I think.
Months, weeks. It's all happening very fast. And then we get into episode 6.
You don't know what love is.
You don't know what love is?
This
This is the episode where...
is when they start their second year of high school.
And they go to the beach. And No. The one kid, I forget his name.
Seiji.
Seiji. He wants to start up a band.
He wants to start up a rock band because the Beatles are huge in America right now.
Yeah, the Beatles are huge in Europe and America. And he kind of tries to get Sentaro to join.
Keep in mind that Sentaro is also put in a different class.
Yes, he is also.
And he was like really like grouchy about that.
Yeah, he was pretty pissed.
Seiji's that chipper guy.
Yeah, he's the chipper bowl cut guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question. In the dub, did he sound fabulous?
Yes.
Yeah, very
Okay.
gay.
Okay.
He sounded metrosexual, not gay.
Well, in the sub, he sounded very gay.
Yep.
I mean, he sounded metrosexual is the politically correct term. But yeah, that's how he sounds. And he was he's very obsessed with being just
A star.
He's being the apple of everyone's eye.
And eventually Sentaro figures out that this kid is not all like sunshine and lollipops.
Like he has real dreams.
Yeah. And the kid's not like rich or anything. He's poor.
Yeah.
So Sentaro connects with him, but like at one point they go to the beach in I think the next episode. No, that's episode 7. But I think in that episode they
that's episode 7.
they actually get
So no, they go to the beach in this one.
and
And Seiji shows up, and
Yeah.
they're all gathering clams, and Centaur's like, yeah, it's all gonna be fine. And then Centaur's all like, all right, I'll do your rock band
and then
for this.
and Kato gets really pissed off.
This is something for before the festival, I believe.
Yeah.
Or I think it is for the festival.
Mhm.
And Sentaru or Kaoru is he feels betrayed because he feels like
Well, he had a flashback of the time where he actually had a friend, and the fact that he said his friend would say, "I'll write you all the time."
I'll write you a
and
letter,
He did it like
and he never-
once, he did it twice, and then it just kind of
And
stopped.
then he never wrote
did it
again.
And he felt very like insecure about this because he didn't know how to
he doesn't understand the concept of
helping somebody else out.
helping somebody else out. He thought it was like you're either my friend or you're not my friend.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's you're all mine or you're nothing.
Yeah, this is a all new experience to Kaoru, which again, it was such a real thing. Like I have experienced that before. I mean, he has like these very childish level emotions and reactions to everything because we go through these first relationships and our first love and our first friendship. We do that when we're kids. But he's like gotten so to this teenage age, and he's never experienced anything like this.
So he doesn't know how to react.
Yeah, so he reacts like a child.
and he just kind of throws those
He throws a tantrum, and he
And-
throws the clams
and just runs away.
and runs away.
And then later on in that episode, Sentaro's in the house playing the drums, and then Richie walks by, and he just gets mad and walks away. And that's how that episode ends.
Yeah, and then Kaoru's like, and then like in 7, oh god.
Now this episode, okay.
So this is a personal favorite of Greg and mine. It's not my favorite episode,
But it's definitely
it's really good.
the one episode that amplifies everything about music. and
This
how-
is the music episode.
this is definitely how music is the way these two communicate.
It's
entirely.
what brought them together.
Yeah, like first of all, this show starts off with
Now-
him being on a committee to sign people up for different bands
For
and
the
things
for the festival.
for the festival. And Sentaro has to go and sign up. Well, Kato's still kind of pissed off at him, so he's like, "Fill it out. I'm not going to fill it out for you." And he does. And like they kind of stare each other down.
This also has the weird moment where Sentaro tries to kiss Eureka, and then they see Brother Jin's a homeless bum in the basement.
Yes, that does happen.
That's just part of the side story.
Yeah.
Um,
And while this is going on, Kato's just he's being a child. He doesn't.
yeah, he's like, oh, you wrote the wrong kanji letter for
Olympus.
For Olympus.
That was him desperately trying to make conversation, and he just came off that way.
Yeah, it was like he wanted to talk to him, but he was still pissed at him, so he just made up some dumb thing to get angry at him.
Yeah. And then, like, later on in the show, the guys are playing music. The Beatle guys are playing music.
The Olympus.
The Olympus. And it kind of sounds very Beatle-esque. Like,
Yeah, it's very, like, American pop rock.
Yeah. And so he walks outside, and then he hears the music cut off, and he kind of has to go and fix it.
Note that the singing at this part was just straight from the Japanese.
Yeah,
So.
that was Japanese.
No, I'm saying in the dub.
Okay.
They didn't, like, redub it.
That's interesting.
They don't redub any of the singing.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
When, what's her face?
Ritsuko?
Yeah, when she sings, it's the Japanese voice actress.
Oh, cool. Okay,
So.
that's neat. But when the amps die, he has to go and figure that out. And then Santoro talks to Shinji, and Richie's behind the curtain. And
Saiichi, you mean?
Saiichi, I'm sorry. God damn it.
You're almost as bad as I am.
I know. I'm sorry. But he hears him behind the curtain, and I love this because Richie all of a sudden has a revelation that he is a complete and utter douchebag.
He's like, because he was like, he hears Sentaro saying like, "Hey, Seiji, you know, like after this, he's like, Seiji's like, you should stay with us, you know, stay at Narakami." He's like, "Nah, after this, I gotta get back to my jazz thing. Somebody's waiting for me."
Yeah.
And he's like, he just has the facepalm moment where it's like,
he's
of
like,
course,
and then all of a sudden,
I'm a dick. He's a good friend. Blah blah blah.
Like my favorite part about this is that he gets on the piano. He's like, "I'll keep them busy while you guys fix the amp problem." And as he starts playing
Monin.
he starts playing Monin, and then all of a sudden, Santoro joins in, and then he kind of, Karu all of a sudden has this revelation. He's like, "I want it all back. I want everything that we had back."
Yeah.
And he uses this music to explain, to Santoro that he wants it all back.
Yeah, they're going back and forth, one louder, then the other louder, then back and forth.
And they switch between music, too.
Yeah, and they switch between all the songs that they've played up until this point.
Which, by the way, was the best thing
It was
ever.
it was incredible. Like, that moment, broke my heart. I'm like, this is, this is fucking beautiful.
Yeah, no, that was, the most beautiful... that showed that they are communicating through their music.
And it was just,
And even Ritsuko
This
realized...
was their friendship.
And Ritsuko even realized that
she's like, they're arguing through the music. It's like they're making up right now.
Yeah.
And it was great.
So, that was the highlight of the show at that point.
For you, yeah.
Yeah, no, that whole part was just awesome. Nep, did you like that part at least? Because you've been quiet this entire time. It's just a conversation between me and Alex.
Because I don't want to be negative.
It's okay to be negative as long as it's, constructive.
I don't have any construction for this part, so I really don't want to say anything. It would just be trolling if I said anything.
Well,
so just out of respect, I don't want to say anything.
It's also your opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion, so don't be shy.
You could have said anything at any point, I mean...
I just want to be respectful.
I mean, you can still be respectful. Just don't be like,
just
well, I thought it was
Yo,
dumb.
This show sucked.
I thought it was dumb because it was dumb. Be like, it wasn't for me. I didn't like it. It wasn't in my taste. That's being respectful. They play a medley of songs including My Favorite Things, Someday My Prince Will Come, and Monin.
Yep.
So, yeah, but he starts with the Monin, the keyboard thing, and it's
and then
yeah,
Santoro
great.
just kind of follows up. When Santoro gets on the drums,
did you? But Nep, did you honestly not like this part?
No.
Why didn't you like it? Any particular reason?
I just.
Maybe you're like Centaur's or Kaoru's dad, and you just don't get jazz.
Well, I mean, there is some jazz music I would listen to. I mean, my favorite Miku song is actually a jazz song, so I'm not against it. It's just I don't like jazz,
He
but
doesn't like black jazz. That's what it is. Play some white jazz.
I don't even get the difference between the two.
Very, very different.
Yes.
White jazz is a lot like lounge music.
Yes, while black jazz is very...
soul music.
Soul music. Very...
Southern music, Southern style.
Yeah.
It's really not black and white. It is just kind of like northern versus southern style.
Yeah. New York versus, I don't know, Georgia.
Georgia? No.
I don't know.
It'd be like Virginia versus New Orleans.
I guess. Like, New York would have
Missouri.
that very lounge-style jazz, but while, like, southern states would have more of that faster-paced jazz. Like, I don't know. Anyways, continuing with the episodes, I mean, why don't we just, like, skip ahead a little bit, because we could go over each individual episode all night. It would take forever. Because episode 7 was really the highlight episode.
I mean, it's 10, 11, 12. Like, that's the big...
Yeah, and then...
So, like, they're... Go ahead, Neb.
No, I was just gonna say after that would be the Junichi arc.
Yeah, the rest of, like, those episodes was kind of, like, closing up that arc.
Mhm.
And it was, kind of like the rekindling of their friendship.
Mhm. The fact that, I'm just gonna skip ahead a little.
Oh, and then, Ritsuko, falls in love with Kaoru.
Yeah, that happens, and Kaoru gets really sick, and then she visits him.
That was great.
The fact that that happened was awesome, by the way.
But then, of course, like, it's like, oh yeah, and we didn't talk for, like, 2 months after that. Because, of course, you know, we don't see that.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they're like getting ready to play the festival, and like they're getting really excited for it, and then Centaur gets in the bike accident.
Yeah, that happened. That actually scared me. Like, that legitly was like, they did not just do this.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
I was like,
if they're about to kill this motherfucker, I'll kill somebody. I cut a bitch.
Like, that whole scene, like, actually scared me. Like, that's the only time in an anime I've ever been like, they did not just try to kill one of the favorite characters of the show.
Yeah, and then Centaur's father comes back, and
Yeah, and then...
he's like, I have to leave. I have to
tries
run
to
away, because if I look at him, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. Like, he was like, if I see him, I can't handle it. I'm going to snap. I'm going to give him payback for all he did to...
Where'd you get all that from?
It was very heavily implied in his behavior.
And the fact that he was trying to get away at one point.
He was like, his father's coming back, and it was implied that, you know, he beat the kids and his wife because he was a drunk, and when he was with them, and that's why.
And he was talking to one of the younger girls. I forget her name.
Yeah.
And then she implies that
he might have sexually abused her.
Maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't that heavily implied. That one was like,
it was more like just
veiled.
abused.
Yeah, it was abuse to all the kids.
Except she was the only one that remembered.
Yeah, because she was the only one that was old enough.
Yeah.
And like Centaur would take punches for them.
Yeah. Also, the fact that his father comes home and gives him a gift, and the fact that he looks at that and he goes, "What?"
Like it is such a simple thing. It was the fountain pen.
Yeah.
And it was like that for Centaur was like that was his father's growth passed on to him, and that was like maybe people can change.
Yeah. He realized that, but he also kind of like I don't know why he's acting like a father all of a sudden.
Yeah, he was like, he was very confused. But it was, I mean, like they all but outright said that he beat the shit out of all the kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, if I see him, I'm gonna lose it. He's like, I can't do that to my family, and I'm just gonna leave them.
Kaoru kind of feels this coming along, and then he just stays.
He did.
He gets there early one morning as he's walking out, and he jumps on him.
He did for Centaur, for his dad, what he did for Kaoru's mom.
Mm.
He's like, don't run away from this. You have to face this. These are your demons, and you have to face them. Which this was like the very small portion that was Centaur's coming of age tale.
Mm.
But I thought that was great.
Yeah, no, it was
very, very good, like mature subtext.
Mm. Also, to mention the motorcycle accident, the whole point when he was actually he went to the roof because he knew that Centauro would be there, and he opens up the sheet again like he did the first time, and then Centauro just kind of looks at him, and he's like, "Are you my angel?" That was like that was like a really like homo bromo of it, but it was still kind of like.
I feel like friendships in anime are all a little like bro love.
Like that was the one that kind of took it to like the next level. Like in that show, like it was fine up until that point, but like it was still a really good point in the show. Like I like how like when Richie was crying, he's like, "I'm gonna hold you here because I don't want you to cry or see you cry or whatever." I forget exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Like that whole scene was pretty.
But yeah, basically,
emotional.
he was driving his little sister back because she hurt her leg, and then they got in an accident. And she was in a temporary coma.
Yeah.
And he waited until she woke up, and then he left.
Yeah, and then eventually, like after Karu tries to stop him,
and he left because he thinks he can only fuck his family up.
Yeah.
He thinks he can't make it better. It wasn't like, I'm going to run away from my problems. It was like, this is what's best for my family. That's what he thought. I mean, he was wrong, obviously, but it's like a natural reaction.
Yeah, and Karu got really pissed. Like,
Yeah,
he didn't, after that, he didn't know how to
It wasn't
react
even
anymore.
broke. It wasn't even pissed. He was fucking broken.
Yeah.
His heart was broken. His best friend had left him, and he felt like, and he understands why he left, and he's more angry at the fact that he gets why he left than the fact that he actually left.
Yeah. And this is kind of where his relationship with Ritsuko falls apart even more. Like, he goes into
he has no fucking idea
he
what
goes
to
into
do
her house
anymore.
and then does a horrible thing, and then he kind of leaves. And
He
doesn't-
tries to rape her.
Yeah, it does happen.
It was sexual abuse. I mean, and like, I'm not gonna beat around it. That's what he does, and he knew it was wrong. When he probably knew it was wrong when he was doing it, but like it was shown with him throughout the whole show. Anytime he was depressed, he turned it into anger, and that just came out in that form that time. He didn't. If something was going wrong, he didn't know how to make it right, and he fucked up, and he knows he fucked up. That's why, right before he leaves, he's like,
he
"Listen,"
apologizes to
He
her.
apologizes. He's like, I know I fucked up. I can't tell you what's wrong with me, but I can tell you I'm sorry, and I never meant to hurt you.
And that was a very, very well done part.
Yeah,
like
that was heartwarming.
Yeah, and then we get to like the last episode, and then that's in
The end of the last episode.
Yeah, the end of the.
And then he leaves on the train, and she waves goodbye to him.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I like
Yeah.
that. And then it's 8 years later, he finally becomes a doctor.
Because he wants to help people.
Yeah, I mean that's what he was kind of forced to do.
It's
in the first place.
funny, he becomes a doctor because he's around people and he helps people all the time.
Well, I guess that's true. But then
Because someone says at some point, like, you're so nice, you're so good with people, like you could be like a doctor or something.
Yeah.
Um,
And he does that, and then like this 8 year later, like I really like this because he sits down in the cafeteria one day and he realizes that the.
I was because at that point when it went to the future, because I'll say it right now before we go into the ending, I was really frustrated because I was thinking like, well, so much time has passed, but they haven't really shown how these characters have grown physically.
Mhm.
Like, they haven't shown that they've become adults, that they've graduated and that they've moved on. And then they fucking just did it.
yeah. And then they show the 8 years, and then he sits down in the cafeteria after helping like people all day. He's doing the night shift because he's like, probably just a new doctor.
And he runs into Eureka.
Well, no. Well, first of all, the guy from Olympus.
Yeah,
is on TV.
Sage, he's on TV. He's an actor now.
And he kind of like stood up and goes, "What?"
I knew that fucking guy in high school. And his doctor dude is like, my fucking little sister loves that dude.
Give me an autograph. And then he just kind of walks downstairs and like you said, Yoriko comes.
Eureka runs in and she's pregnant with
which surprises the hell
Jin's-
out of me
Jin's
because I
little-
thought that was done.
yeah, Jin's baby.
She just comes out of nowhere. I was like, okay. And she hands a picture, and like you don't know what the picture is of, but he's like, okay, can I borrow
Like
this?
everybody that's watching is like, oh.
And then he just kind of starts asking these questions, and then you're like, oh, I know who he's looking for, and he finally finds him. Centauro's become
A father.
a priest.
A priest that looks after the orphan kids.
Yeah. Which, by the way, is probably the best thing he could have become.
Yeah.
And
And again, Neb, because I don't know if you picked up on it, because you seem to be lost in some of the subtext that we picked up on. He did that because he thinks he wants to help people without a family because he lost his family. And again, he thinks that's his fault. He didn't look at it as his running away as like, I don't deserve this anymore. So he left because he thought he was hurting them. So he's helping these kids who don't have a family like him.
And the fact that Richie goes up that hill
Just fuck plays mono.
and then plays mono and then Monin. You said mono though.
No, I said mono as in really
God damn it. Monin.
moaning.
I'm gonna do that until this is
I
over.
hate you.
I know. Monin.
They play Monin, and then he just comes up, jumps on the drums.
He just turns around and you see him, and you're like, oh, and then he pulls drums, and then Richie just starts laughing because he's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, they're just smiling. It was that moment from episode 7 again, but like now it's not they're arguing. It's like it's all coming back.
The friendship is reignited. The fact that he found his friend, and then like the priest runs in and they run down that slope.
And then they run down the slope. That moment was so beautiful, like because like you're seeing in the intro scene them running down the slope every episode. Oh my god, that moment fucking broke my heart. Like,
yeah, no, that part, like that's the thing.
I got a
little
cloudy eyed. Then it was
that solidified the series, and the last little part
and then
when
they run into Ritsuko.
When Ritsuko shows up, and then you're just like, what the fuck?
And it's just the three best friends are back together.
And then that's how it ends. So,
and it's
fucking
not
kids on a slope.
And honestly, they don't tell you where it goes. It's just, it's wherever you want it to go, which I thought was the best thing they could have done.
Yeah, like, out of all the endings of anime, that is probably one of the best endings in an anime I've ever watched.
Yeah, it was incredible.
And
like, it was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, no, Kids of the Slope, definitely one of the sleeper cell shows that I think everybody should watch.
And, like, I'm not a big jazz guy. Like, I like jazz. I appreciate it.
I really didn't like jazz up until the show.
And it was like...
and now I have a total appreciation for
I had
what
that
it does.
moment with Richie when, he sees how it's like, this is soul music. And I'm like, I get it. Like, I feel the rhythm. I understand what Richie's feeling. And like, that was me completely just relating to him on that level. And, yeah, like, I totally got it at the end of that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It was like, I get it. I know, and my appreciation for music just in general, not just jazz, but music in general has just risen tenfold.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because it's like, they really expertly showed how music can be like this thing that brings people together in surprising ways.
It's just a great show. Watch this show. Like, I recommend it highly. Like, even if you don't like slice of life, watch this show because it's just ridiculous.
And obviously, Mr. Knapp being the case example, it's not everybody's gonna like it. It's not for everybody.
But it's definitely a show worth checking out.
But,
like, even if you don't like it.
Give
just watch the first episode.
Give a few episodes a shot. See if you start feeling it. If not, then not. But if you do, then it's really worth it to see it through the end.
In fact, if anybody decides to watch the show or after listening to this,
yeah, please send us an email. Tell us what you think,
and tell us how much you love this show or how much you hated the show. Either one, and just give us an example of why. I really want to hear what other people have. If you've watched it already, if you haven't watched it, watch it now. Just do it. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take a break so we can get back and talk about Madoka.
Yeah, because we spent, an hour and a half talking about this?
No, it was like 40 minutes.
Okay, 40 minutes. All right, yeah, this will be weird because we normally don't take another break.
No, look up here. Remember I said we should take a break at some point in our anime discussion?
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, good.
So yeah, we'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll talk about Madoka so Nep can finally splooge like I'm sure he's been waiting to.
Yeah. All right, guys.
We'll be back in a bit.
Okay.
I'm sorry you didn't like it, Neb.
That's like...
He fell asleep. I mean, like, our goal isn't to, like, find one that any one of us dislike. It's,
It's just a mix.
I'm glad you tried something different, at least, Neb.
Yeah, this is definitely something that's out of my comfort zone, so I am glad I did watch it just for that sake.
Yeah. And I was right there with you. I mean, I watched something out of my comfort zone, and of course I ended up liking it. But I have my picks and gripes with it, which I'll talk about. Let me, I have to take a piss real quick.
Like, holy crap, that show.
And I'm gonna do the same.
Like, I'm so glad that I got all that out. Yeah. There's so much of that show that was just fantastic. Oh. Now I know why I keep saying mono. It's that. The mono mix.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's why.
Alright, let's get back into it.
Nip's still gone.
Oh, you went to pee?
Yeah.
Street pass again, I guess. The organ mix, yeah, I know.
Yeah, the unedited version though. This is like directly from the show. The music that they actually used in the show.
Yeah. Go take a nap. Chemical castration. What a dick.
Tony.
Yeah.
It's great.
No, it's not.
Every time. Cringe.
So gross.
The art style for that show, we forgot to mention a lot of stuff about that.
We discussed what was important.
Yeah. But the art style for that show is fucking great too.
Yeah.
Like it's very un-anime. Like in that sense.
And you can barely even tell that when it was playing the music. Oh, I forgot to say. I'll say one thing when we get back.
Okay. Nap, you back?
But when he was playing the music, it was a 3D animation instead of
Yes,
2D.
yes it was.
Yeah,
It was.
I noticed that. So I figured you would too. Nap, you good?
Just turning off some sound notifications that were popping up. Did you hear anything on my end?
Nope.
Okay, then yeah, it was just blaring in my headphones. I was wondering if it bleeded out into the microphone.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Nope.
Okay.
Worst
Yeah,
case scenario, Tony can just like remove it. Noise removal. All right, pause the music. We gotta get back into it.
Yeah.
It's 3:46 now.
Well, I figured this was gonna take a while.
Yeah, I did.
Madoka's gonna probably take equally as long.
Yeah. Nap's got a splooge. He's got to squeal like a little lady.
Alright, guys, you ready
I
to go?
might.
Everybody?
I'm good to go.
Alright. 3, 2, 1. Alright, guys, we are back.
Hi.
We're on Madoka Magic now, but Alex actually has some things to say that he
One thing I
wanted
forgot.
to mention.
Just it was a quick thing. Holy shit! Props to the animators of Kids on the Slope, because not only is it difficult to play the drums, but to accurately animate someone playing the drums, I can only fucking imagine.
To music.
To like accurate to the beat of the music. Like props. Like I was watching it. You know, I know my way around a drum set, so I know the noises that go with the specific parts of it. And yeah, that was fucking spot on. Goddamn. Props to that. So.
Alright. Now on to Madoka Magic. Neb, I'm gonna have you read this.
First, we have to address something. It's a Madoka Magica.
Madoka Magica. Yeah, I'm stupid. Whatever.
Puella puella, Madoka Magica.
You just watch the Target commercial way too much, don't you?
No.
They have a song in there called Ula Ula, and the way that you sing it is the same way that
Puella
they do it.
puella, ula ula. Is that? All right. I don't. I have no idea what that is. All right, Nip. Since you barely talked, go for it.
All right. So, like, the basic summary for the show is basically, after experiencing a bizarre dream, Madoka Kaname, a kind 14-year-old girl, encounters a magical creature named Kyubey. Madoka and her friend...
Kyubey. Little shit asshole motherfucking piece of shit.
Okay, we can all agree on that.
Yeah. You actually, like, brought up on Twitter, like, the subject of Kyubey, and I responded, like, my favorite Kyubey is this, and I had a picture of him getting shot.
Being shot.
Yeah.
That was fucking great. I was like, yeah, fuck that little shit.
It was a Moe Kyubey, and I was like, this is my favorite Kyubey. Like, if this was Kyubey, this would be my favorite character in the show. And then he's like, this is my favorite, and then it's just the version of him being shot in the face.
Yeah. Everyone in the theater, when I watched it, just clapped at that part.
Well, when he like gets murdered like 6 different times.
Anyways, continue with the blood story.
All right.
We'll go
All right. And her friend Sayaka Miki are offered the opportunity of gaining magical powers if they agree to make a contract with the strange little being.
The familiar.
Yeah. He will also grant them one wish, But in exchange, they shall risk their lives by accepting the responsibility of fighting witches. They are invisible to the human eyes. Witches are
The catalysts of despair in the areas they inhabit. I'm sorry, I just know the English language. No one else fucking knows it. Jesus.
No, I'm like
think I
10
go-
feet away from the text. It's hard to read.
Oh, okay. I can read it if you want.
Yeah, please do.
An ally of Kyubey, a magical girl named Mami Tomoe, befriends and encourages the two girls to accept the contract. Till you know it, her head gets bent.
Spoilers.
Well, spoilers before we even get into
before
it.
we fucking spoil the shit out of the show. Whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot to spoil on the show.
Befriends and encourages the two girls to accept the contract. For an unknown reason, another magic girl named Hamura Akemi is determined to prevent Madoka from accepting the deal. She don't give no shits about Sayaka, though, I'll tell you what.
See, I thought you said Hamura. I thought it was Hamaru, but
Homura.
Hamura. Sorry, I don't know the accent too well, so. Okay. All right. So Nep. So again, I was like the outlier for this one, right? I was like, this is a moe style art style, about middle school girls becoming fucking magical girls, whatever.
Yeah.
I will say, when we got to the one episode, which everyone knows what that fucking the time travel episode, when I got to that, I'm like, wow, this got so much more fucking interesting.
Yeah, see, okay, I'm gonna go into what I have so much wrong with this show.
I'm not done yet.
Well, fuck you then.
Because it, like, up to that point, I'm like, this is okay, but not, like, it's not blowing my mind. It's relatively unimpressive.
That's kind of how I felt.
And then it got to that, I'm like, so this is, like, my favorite kind of sci-fi. All right, I'm on board. And where it went, I thought was totally awesome.
Okay.
And I was actually... I like how it ended. All right, let me address my earlier comment when we were talking about that top 25 dumb list, blah blah blah. I wasn't saying I didn't like the ending. I was saying that the part where like they were like naked or in between dimensions. I thought it was that the reason it was like the least favorite for girls would be because it's two middle school girls that were naked, kind of, or between dimensions, whatever. I like the story part of the ending. I thought, you know, I'm not big on the fan service, everybody being naked and moe, so that didn't like. I thought it was dumb. I'm not like gonna lie. I feel like it's kind of misogynistic, but whatever. That's a whole other conversation. But like, I'm not saying I dislike the ending. Quite the opposite. I thought the ending was pretty good. So.
Okay.
Go ahead, Greg, and then we'll have Nep go.
See, I have many problems with this show. Plot holes. Lots and lots of motherfucking plot holes.
Like what?
Where's QB from? Why are we fighting
Yeah,
witches?
he says where he's from.
Yeah, he does say it.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
He never discusses what planet he's from.
Yeah, he said, I'm from another civilization on another planet.
What
That
planet?
has-
Where from? Why do you look
That's
like
not
this?
necessary.
That's not relevant
For
to
me,
the
it
story.
is.
No, it's not. It's not. It shouldn't be relevant for you. He came to the planet to harvest emotions. That's
It's
all
a literary element. You know, if it's not important to the story, you don't introduce it.
Yeah,
Like, you know, authors do that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's like books where, you know, they create like homosexual characters, and they never say it in the book. You know, they never imply it, they never say it, they never do anything.
Albus
Ju-
Dumbledore.
it's just
gay.
there.
It's just
Yeah.
it's a part of a character, but
Yeah, it's just not important to the story, so it never happens. You know,
so
it's
they
never
just
said.
they don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Why is that important to the story, Greg?
I don't know. It just feels like it should have been like addressed at some point.
No,
like why is he like? I know why he's here, but like why?
They found that the
Whatever.
ideal source of energy was
Is
in
human
emotions.
emotion, like specifically from a young age.
It powers this assumedly high-tech civilization.
Okay, and then another problem I had was why fight witches? Where did they come from? What is the point of them?
They-
Like, this is never addressed.
They say it on the
They
show.
say that on the show. Did you
Witches
watch
are
a
magical
different show?
girls.
No, I watched it, but like the witches just kind of appear there. Like,
Witches
they're
are
just
magical
there.
girls that have been
Yeah, who
covered by
have
despair.
yeah.
Because magical girls at some point will realize that they are caught
But
in a
why is there
never-ending.
so many witches then?
Because there's
Like,
so many
it's-
magical girls.
It's just so
There's lots of Cubase. He's everywhere.
Yeah, he says he has tons of bodies.
Yeah, like
I must have missed something. Like
You must have missed 4 episodes.
No, I watched the entire series. I just after the first episode, I kind of lost interest in the whole show. Like that.
Well, you should have given it a shot.
It
was like I said, I thought it was actually pretty good.
Like the only time I thought it was interesting was that exact part, but the other part of the show is just I cannot wait for this show to be over. That's how I felt the entire time.
I mean, why? It was apart from my gripes with it are with the art style mostly, and that's
another thing that really irks me.
Why?
The witches, why are they that type of style? They couldn't have just kept the animation the same.
It was an interesting art style.
Yeah, each one represented something different.
Yeah, like the labyrinths represented the causes of the despair that led that magic girl to become a witch.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just don't like the way they did it though, that 2D flat.
But not all of them were like that. Some of them weren't.
The black and white one.
Yeah.
Some of them were cool.
They were all.
I had a problem with
I thought it was interesting that they were all different art styles.
And honestly, that's probably what turned me off the first time I tried to watch the show. Is I got to that point and I was like,
well, that's dumb. And then you're complaining about plot holes that aren't actually plot holes. They're all completely addressed.
It just feels like the show is missing some continuity when it at certain points. I don't
like what?
What kind of continuity are you talking about?
Give me an example. I'll see if I can address it and clear it up for you.
I don't know. It just feels out. There's just some things that are out of place.
It feels like you wrote it off the first time and you just bullshitted your way through the rest of it, and then you were done with it and you didn't pay attention and you didn't care.
Oh.
Like that. I mean, all right. Let's be real. That's what Nep did to Kids on the Slope. Okay. And you did that to Madoka. I mean, I tried for both of them. Come on, guys. I'm here. I'm watching a Moe fucking thing for you two on this anime podcast.
At a certain point in the show, I watched the show completely. I understood the characters. I felt like a lot of the show characters were also kind of irrelevant at one point.
Yes.
That's another thing I had a problem with the show.
That's one of my complaints. I thought some of the characters were very throwaway.
Okay, another plot hole that I saw was the time travel episode specifically.
Yeah.
There were points where Sayaka was there and Sayaka was not there.
Yes.
At different points in time.
Yes, because it was different every time she did it.
I know, but it just feels like, why is she there, not there, not there, not there?
Because she tried different things. Where maybe if I did this with her, maybe if there were more of us.
I know they addressed at a certain point where she stopped and then Sayaka was already a witch. And then maybe that's why I didn't get that, but I feel like that happened when she first showed the jumping. She wasn't there the first few times, but then they showed it again.
Yeah, because it was her attempting different strategies to beat this super witch.
Yeah, the first time it happened, it was just Madoka keeping a secret from everyone, including her friend. So, of course she's not going to be there the first time.
That's implied in subtext. We'll get to that.
I don't know.
But
maybe I'm just wrong.
Well, it's a first time for everything, huh, Greg?
Shut up, Alex. I'm just gonna go kill myself now. Where's your balcony?
If you jumped off that balcony, you would get a scrape. It's 10 feet tall. It's nothing.
I know.
But
I don't know. The show felt weird to me. I don't know.
I mean, it's a weird show. All right, so I agree with you. I thought a lot of the characters were throwaway. Well, when Mommy died, I'm like, what the fuck?
That character was actually the character that I liked.
Because she had breasts.
No.
It was a joke. All right, guys. I'm allowed to joke.
However, when you said record reactions, I had no reaction to that.
Oh,
I was
what?
Just
to Mommy dying?
Yeah, I was just kind of oh, well, this happened.
I was like, well, I was confused. I mean, it's all cleared up in the time travel episode.
Yeah, that was.
It was all of this doesn't matter. Because everything was supposed to be throwaway because it technically was
yeah,
literally was. So
okay,
you go, Neb. Now I want to know your opinion, Neb.
On the show as a whole?
Yeah, as a whole.
It's fantastic. It's an anime that needs to exist because it's a shining example of anime in general. It's basically a deconstruction of that magical girl genre. Like they took that genre and like turned it straight upside on its head and did things completely differently. Characters aren't supposed to act like this. The story's not supposed to go in this kind of direction.
Faces.
I don't know.
It's not supposed to be like this at all, and it is, and it's fantastic for it because they did something different, and future anime should take note from this.
Like, I'm not really familiar with the magical girl genre. I didn't even know it was a genre.
It is.
I could summarize it really fast.
Go for it. Give me the shot.
A cute little mascot thing that you can purchase for $9.99 at a store near you appears towards a normal girl who's always bad at math, who's whatever in school, appears to her and tells her to become a magical girl. Girl says, yeah, sure, I can do that. She becomes a magical girl. And then she meets all her other allies. They fight evil for the name of love and justice and for fashion.
Always.
And you just do that until the episodes are over.
So Sailor Moon, gotcha.
All right, yeah, I was thinking like, is Sailor Moon count?
Yeah, Sailor Moon's magical.
Yeah, pretty
it's
much.
The original magical girl anime.
Okay. All right, that makes more sense. Yeah, I do like how, like, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy or catch-22. It's the magical girls are required to kill witches, but then magical girls will eventually become witches, and then there are more magical girls required to take care of that witch. It's a never-ending story. Again, self-fulfilling.
Great movie.
That fucking weird dragon took him to the attic, and no, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like you can't win. It's a no-win scenario because that's what the civilization that Kyubey comes from. That's what he needs. He needs a never-ending cycle, vicious cycle. So I thought that was actually a really clever thing. So like when it's like, oh, she became a witch, I'm like, huh, clever, and that was my reaction. But again, I didn't really start like thinking like, hey, this is actually really interesting until the time travel episode, which was 8.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
10.
See, like the last 3 episodes were the most interesting episodes in the show, really. Like.
Yeah, no, I agree. I feel like.
I don't like the show's called Madoka Magica, but she doesn't become anything magical until like the last episode.
That's on purpose.
But I feel like if the show is called that, they should have been called something different.
It's because I understand what you're saying, Nap. It's putting the genre on its head because it's like everything is telling you that she should be a magical girl, but she's not. She's contradicting
but honestly,
everything.
That kind of made her a little annoying. Like all she did was tag along. She was kind of pointless.
She was the human aspect. She was the audience.
She was the perspective of the story. Like, you saw it from her story for the most part. And, if you saw it from somebody else, like specifically Homura, you'd see the anime completely different. Like, it's on purpose.
But I feel like Homura would be the main character of the show. Like, she is the main character of the show.
She is.
They should have just followed that.
That's on purpose.
But the thing is, it's like it's leading you on, so you think you know what's happening. You think you know what's going to happen, and then it's like, oh, but guess what? All this shit's fucking crazy.
I don't know.
By saying like this has already happened 1,000 different ways before.
Like I think maybe the biggest problem I had when I first before we watched it again, when I first watched it when Kyubey called out Madoko, and as soon as she started running towards it, I was like, oh, god damn it, it's one of these shows. Where, she's just gonna find a magical animal, and she's gonna get powers.
Yeah, that's basically how they start.
I was like, done.
Yeah, but, it ends up not being that. And
well,
it
that's
ends
why
up being,
I gave it a second shot.
It ends up being incessantly interesting because of that. It's different. It isn't what you expect. And there are so many twists and turns. Like, that episode 10 is fucking insane.
I'll agree. That is a good episode.
I didn't see that coming at all. And every time a character died, it was like spoon feeding you all this information that one of the characters knows. She represents the mastermind behind it all, and she knows everything, and she knows what's going to happen next. But it's giving the audience such little information at a time. It's like everything becomes inherently more fascinating as time goes on.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. It does. The show did slowly become more interesting, but it took a while to get there.
It takes its time, which I would think is a fair critique.
Which
but
I think I would be a lot more interested in the show if it sped up a little bit quicker.
I mean, I think it taking its time makes you appreciate when you figure everything out more. That's what I thought, at least. But like how every episode you learn a new thing, a new catch to becoming a magical girl.
Yep.
And it's
Yeah.
like from a logical perspective for Cubase, it's like, oh, well, this stuff doesn't. I didn't think it was relevant because and he's like this emotionless, senseless thing that just doesn't comprehend.
He's basically the robot from AD 2010, or what was the movie title? Like that
I have no
that
idea.
movie with the robot where kills everything. You know, like his catchphrase was like, "I can't let you do that, Dave."
Oh,
That
yeah,
one.
I know what you're talking about. Can't think of it. Hal?
I
Is it Hal?
think.
Are you thinking Hal? I think you're thinking of
I
Hal.
think.
Yeah, like a logic-driven thing that does not comprehend emotion.
Yeah.
Which was also a fascinating thing for me because, again, this broke into two of my favorite types of science fiction. Yeah, it was like you learn about magical girls, then you learn about witches, then you learn about how magical girls die like very frequently,
And then you learn Cubase is a fucking asshole.
and then you learn Cubase is like a fucking twat-faced motherfucker,
No, that actually Cubase was pretty interesting.
and then you learn that
at some points.
their gems have their souls in them, and they can't ever leave them. They leave their bodies, or else their bodies will just turn into husks because their bodies are husks.
That
Yeah.
episode was interesting.
That was really interesting because I was like, what the fuck is happening?
That's also how it was.
And it was like, and then you learn that magical girls just care about purifying these gems because it's kind of like a high for them.
Well, more like if they don't, they will turn into.
Yeah, but like again, they didn't know that,
And that's why that whole revelation that they just realized
and
that they would turn into
that's
zombies.
why the asshole girl Kyoko.
Kyoko. I actually like her.
Of course you did. She was Sundere. I don't know how to say it.
What's so net about her?
She's not Sundari.
She
What?
seemed like if there was a male protagonist, that's exactly what she would be.
Maybe.
She was like all of the character types except she wasn't.
She honestly was the expendable advertisement for Pokey Sticks.
But she.
No, that's honestly what she was.
That's totally. It's like, I like Pocky. Like. No, but like if there was like a male protagonist that she could have had feelings for, you know that's exactly what she would be to him.
Kind of, yeah.
She was all of the aspects of that type of character, from what I understand, without the male counterpart.
Yeah, I can see it.
You know that's true, Neb. Don't even.
Sayaka also kind of feels like that too, though. But it's just
Sayaka?
yeah.
I don't know. Sayaka just seemed like the
The
I could just
tragic
see-
character.
Of course,
she's the tragic. You know,
I ended up disliking her so much.
yeah, because she
Yep.
was so stubborn.
Like, but just in general, I didn't like her at all. Like, she was interesting,
I
like,
li-
the
I liked
first few
her-
episodes that you meet her, and then she becomes a magical girl, and then she's just kind of like a dick.
She
She
follows
slowly
her
becomes a
emotions
dick.
a bit too much.
Yeah, and then she gets drowned in despair
Yep.
and turns into a witch.
She is the ideal candidate for Cube.
Yes. She had a selfish wish that didn't help her at all because her best friend was just going to go after this guy anyway. And then she drowned herself in her own despair. By
You know,
pushing
we
away
haven't
all the
even
people she cares
run
about.
down to the whole character list.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about all of them at this point.
Yeah, we have.
Except for Mommy.
Well, honestly, probably was going to be my favorite character in that show.
I liked her. She was like, oh, she's disgustingly likable. And I'm like...
She's
oh.
the Onesan of the group.
Yeah, and then she
The
did-
what?
On-
Explain.
Fuck.
I have no idea what the fuck
You
just
said a Japanese word, now explain.
She's the big sister of the group.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then she dies.
And then she does. And then I was like, well, okay, show. This is where you're going.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, there has to be a reason why she died. So that's kind
I
of...
really liked her only because her powers were, like, the coolest out of everybody in the show.
She had big guns.
She had guns.
I hiss guns.
Also, they were
I
muscles.
shoot
Yes.
big guns.
Guns.
They were muskets
Quote,
that
quote.
fired individuals.
They were laser guns.
They were kind of cool.
Yeah, dude. They were guns. Guns are cool. Kids should play with guns. No, yeah, it was like
Buy a gun, save a life.
I was figuring that she was just gonna betray somebody anyway. And I'm like, oh, they kill her. All right, that works too.
Like my reaction to that whole episode was just like, oh, like I honestly thought that maybe she'd just like go into the stomach of the thing and like pop out like after.
No,
exploding.
her head comes off of her body.
Yeah, no, that
And
is
then
what I was
gets
like-
eaten.
And then gets eaten.
I was like,
And then the
oh.
rest of her body gets eaten.
So this is where that's going.
Yeah. It was more of like a, huh. That's what that was my reaction.
Nev, if you were expecting like, oh,
No, it wasn't. That was like,
Yeah, that was my reaction.
yeah, no, that's not ours. That was-
Yeah. Because the show seriously changed right there. Like, it changed from what I was expecting at that point.
yeah, it got like way fucking darker. And then it was just got slowly more and more depressing, and I was just sad by the end of it. And then episode 10, which was dope as shit.
And I cried like a bitch.
You did
Yes.
at the end or at episode 10? Both.
Mostly episode 10.
10 was really depressing.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or is Himura the only one that has like a
Hamura?
house? Hamura, sorry. The only one that has a house that has like things flying around it, and nobody questions that.
Is it just me, or I was like, where the fuck are the rest of these characters' fucking parents?
That too.
Like, I know Mommy's, like, it's assumed her family died in that car crash, but
And then you have Sayaka, who just like runs
Sayaka,
the
I'm
fuck
like,
away.
where the fuck are her parents? She's like 13, 14
Madoka's parents are the only ones that like.
that are there shown, and
Yeah,
her
they're
mom's
shown.
awesome.
Yeah, no, her mom was cool.
Yeah, and then Kyoko,
Yeah.
Okay,
she-
which they made more likable than I thought they were going to, but I still didn't really care about
her
her.
backstory was kind of.
I liked it. Religious sci-fi. I digged it. I dubbed it.
Still a expendable advertisement for Pokesticks.
Yep. Go
And
for it.
DDR.
Go for it, Ned.
Okay, we just kind of been jumping around. Want to go through episode by episode because I actually wrote it down.
All right, sure.
All right, so first two episodes are disposable because that's pretty much what they're supposed to be.
Yep.
So skip past that. And then episode 3 is where you actually get Mommy's backstory. And then shortly afterwards, you find out, like, she's putting on this exterior for everyone else, but she's really like this girl
Something
that's
on the inside, yeah.
that's
And you never
scared
figure out- or by the
and
way,
not
you never figure out
confident.
Her wish. She does.
She never. No, she wishes that she doesn't die in the car crash.
Is that what she?
She was
said?
bleeding out.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't. Yeah.
She says, like, I had to wish. I didn't have a choice with my wish, but you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. It was implied that. Okay.
It was not implied. It showed her in a car
No,
bleeding.
no, 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 no.
In
I know.
blood.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah. In blood.
what I mean.
Bleeding. In blood. With blood out. In bleeding.
With bleach.
I have to get up in 5 hours. I'm sorry. Continue.
All right, and then by that point, she finally successfully convinced Madoka to become a magical girl. So she was gonna take on this another witch. It's gonna be same old thing. It's not gonna be anything different.
Sorry.
And she gets her head bitten off.
And then she dies.
And then she
Yeah,
dies.
which at this point, they actually don't know about the soul gems, which they masked it really cleverly by putting it on her head. Because, at this
Yeah.
point, they still thought their soul was still in their body, and, once you die, you can't come back. But that's actually not the case. She could have if she wasn't getting, if
her
she
soul
didn't get
gem
her.
wasn't on her head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually what the creator said in an interview at some point. Like, they actually said, they did it on purpose because, otherwise she would have come back to life and they would have freaked out and the story would have moved differently in that way.
Yeah, which could have happened in any of the 1,000 possibilities that happened.
Yeah.
I love that. Hashtag Bioshock Infinite.
I did find that interesting.
And
Go ahead.
anything?
Continue.
Okay. Episode 4 is then basically Sayaka's episode where, she's still obsessing about her wish. She's still thinking maybe she should wish for Kamijo's sake,
We all knew she was just gonna pick the selfless whatever, make him so he could play fucking violin.
Violin. The violin.
The violin again. The violin.
Violin.
Because, fucking... It was like... Everything you thought was gonna happen didn't happen, except that one bit where it's like, oh, she's just gonna fucking wish.
Yep.
That she did, and it was like that was the only predictable thing because
Yep.
it was like, oh, when she's just gonna fucking become a magical girl. Doesn't until the last episode.
Yeah, I think
That was the one
it
predictable
irks me
thing.
that entire time. No, really, that like them choosing just irks me. Like even just Madoko the entire time.
Like I said, it was a fascinating thing to me. Because every time I expected her to do it, it was like, oh, there's Hamura just here to fuck some shit up. I'm gonna cut a bitch.
Really,
And then he shoots Kyubey in the face. Continue.
Best part.
Best part of the game. Continue.
Oh god, so many
Or the
people
next
cheer for that. All right. Right. So yeah, she becomes episode 4. Then episode 5 is basically Sayaka trying to follow in Mami's footsteps. You know, having the same type of ideals.
Killing the familiars instead of the witches.
Yeah, basically. And then at this point, you know, Kyoko's already appears and she picks a fight with Sayaka basically because they have different ideals going on completely. Like, you know, Kyoko is more about
Herself. She cares about herself.
yeah, you know, basically using her magic only for herself, you know, killing only a witch, you know, letting familiars kill humans so that they can become witches and she can take the soul gem from that. You know, that was her mythology, that was her idea, and they just kind of go at it with eventually the fight escalates to where they both have killing intent. Like, you know, they're both magical girls, they're not supposed to be doing this. You know, they're supposed to be team up, you know, that's basically what the magical girl norm is. Like, you don't really have this kind of conflict between different magical girls. And you have it here where they're both out to kill each other.
Yeah. Which was interesting. You're right. Yeah, that is not something that is common in your standard magical girl anime, I guess.
Yeah.
Where like they're pitted against one another for selfish reasons, as opposed to they're put together for selfless reasons.
Yeah.
Continue that. I'm starting to understand more why you appreciate it so much.
Yeah. And then Homura stops the fight and episode 6 starts.
Technically, Madoko stops the fight. Homura just butts in.
No, Homura is the one that fucking
She actually
punches
knocks out
Kyoko.
Sayaka.
Oh yeah, she knocks out Sayaka.
Unconscious.
Well, that does happen, but like Madoko jumped in front of Sayaka beforehand.
Yeah, but then she gets thrown to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When that happens, but just,
So Madoka doesn't matter. She's a piece of little shit like Kyubey.
honestly, that's
Fucking Kyubey.
That's still how I feel the entire time. Like Madoko seems so useless throughout the like I don't know. It's just
Her use is her being useless.
like,
She's supposed to.
she just tags along, and it just feels it annoys me.
She's like the human perspective.
Yeah, like,
I
you know,
I
she's...
understand you have your opinion, but I'm giving you mine
I know.
for reference. Continue, Nep. I'm sorry.
Alright, basically, let's see.
Episode 6. I think.
Yeah, episode 6 at Sayaka's house. It starts to be established that, you know, Kyubey has extra uses besides becoming magical girls. He actually eats the grief seed, and, you know, they start to slowly introduce more to it than that.
Yeah.
But Homura and Kyoko have a conversation at the DDR machine, which I love.
Yeah, that was weird.
Advertising DDR and Pokey. that's honestly what she's there for. All the fan art has her eating Pokey sticks. Like seriously.
I don't know, man. That shit's alright. I mean, I guess.
I've had Pokey though, but
You've never had it?
You can buy them in grocery stores. I stocked it before.
You've never had it ever?
No, it's just a like chocolate covered stick.
It's kind of like a cookie.
Yeah, that's what
not,
it is.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I know what it is.
Just try it. Maybe you like it.
I didn't say I wouldn't like it. I know what they are. I just haven't tried it
Just
yet.
get addicted and become a shill for Japan. Be an anime as a.
I'm already in anime.
God damn it, Greg. All right. Episode 7.
7?
Yeah.
Skip 6.
Yeah, I thought that was all that happened in that episode.
No,
I don't remember, dude. I don't remember anything clearly.
this is the episode where Sayaka starts to start getting more negative, where she starts to deconstruct and like she's getting closer and closer to self-exploding herself. She basically views all magical girls as like an enemy, just like the witches, and she only thinks of Mami as the only one that was different from them. She's starting to isolate herself from everyone, even Madoka a little bit at this point.
Yeah.
So
the tragic fallen heroine.
And so, like, Kyoko and Sayaka meet again. They want another grudge match, so they decide to to go upside a bridge to make a fight there. And at this point in time, Madoka's...
Go ahead, Greg.
You missed the point where, like, Madoka was trying to figure out what she should do about Sayaka, and she talks to her mom.
Oh, yeah.
That happens. That's where she gets the idea to throw the soul gem off the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she throws the soul gem off the bridge.
She has a talk with her mom, yeah. And
those talks with her mom actually are pretty cool.
Yeah, her mom was dope. So.
Yeah, and her mom basically encouraged her to like try doing a reckless decision because they're young, they can forgive each other and stuff like that.
Sometimes you got to be stupid to be able to learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Basically,
except when you throw your entire friend's
Instead when you throw your bro, I'm gonna throw this off the bridge, son.
Oh wait, you're dead.
Oh my god.
Well, this is happening.
And so, like, yeah, Madoka...
reverse time, fix this shit.
Yeah, I thought she was actually dead for a second. I'm like, they killed her already? I kind of figured they were gonna... After Mommy died, I'm like, they're gonna just kill everybody, aren't they? I thought they were gonna kill her already, but now they killed her later.
Yeah.
No, they killed two birds with one stone, actually.
So, Madoka, basically, her idea of stopping them was throw the soul gem off the bridge, which it was then we would find out that, Kyubey was holding back information and, like, the soul gem is the person now, and basically their bodies are basically just corpses. And it was finally revealed, and that basically moves on to episode 7 where, like, Sayaka is, like, really pissed, and understandably so, because... Kyubey didn't say anything about this, and, Kyubey starts doing his rationalization, which he always does, saying how, if he didn't do this, they wouldn't be able to fight, because, like a normal injury would be enough to incapacitate. Thank you.
That's where he, like, physically abuses Sayaka. Like a dick.
What does he do?
He makes her, like, feel pain.
Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah, this is what it feels like to have a spear go through your stomach. Oh, yep. just letting you know, bro. Yeah, just for funsies. And we're like, God, fucking little
That was actually the one point where I was like, God damn it.
He's
what
like,
the fuck is wrong
you were like,
with this show?
Wait a second. This guy's a dick.
That's actually kind of where the point of the show was like, this guy is a fucking
I like how the viewer slowly has this revelation that it's like, wait a second, he's a fucking asshole. Like, holy shit. That's what this is about.
It wasn't to that point where, like, I started to kind of like the show. Like, to figure out that QB was actually kind of like this huge...
Wait, this guy's kind of a dick.
Yeah, like, that whole point was just like, oh, he isn't nice.
I didn't really like him from, like, episode 4.
Well, yeah, but, like, you don't really know what he's about.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
I ain't about that life, son.
And then, like, he does that, I'm like, oh, whoa.
You're like, Oppa. Gangnam Style.
By the way, Oppa in Japan means big boobs, just so you know.
Oppai.
Really?
Oppai.
But you were close.
Bala bala.
Oh my god.
I gotta show you that after.
Okay. Keep going, Nep. Yeah,
right.
But you're like, this guy's a totes twat, bro.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
So, Homura talks with Madoka, and basically Homura keeps saying how Madoka shouldn't be involved in this. She's still pulling on the cold act of not really saying everything, because she did know about this beforehand, but she didn't tell anyone. You don't know why. It's just she didn't choose to say anything. And
I was like wondering if they were gonna show what Homura was all about, because honestly,
and then they did.
when it hit 9, when Kyoko died, I had like no idea, because there were 3 episodes left. I'm like, where is this gonna go?
That's kind of how I felt as well.
I was so fascinated with like, how are they going to use like these remaining 3 episodes to fill it?
At that point, the show was very unpredictable. Like, as soon as they killed the last few...
Kyoko.
Yeah.
Kyoko, sorry.
Yeah, as soon as they killed her and Sayaka at the same time, it's kind of like, so there's 2 left, and this thing. So...
There was not even 2 left, it was just Hamada and
Midoko. That's
yeah,
what I mean.
but she wasn't a magical girl.
I'm just saying, but there was 2 left,
MG.
and then Kyuubi, and then I was just kind of like, well then...
Kyuubi is such a...
Where is this going?
Dickhole. Yeah, and then Kyuubi is like, yeah, you're the time traveler. I'm like, wait a second.
That whole conversation where he's just like, I'm in your house. No, I'm not in your house. No, I'm back in your house.
She was in some weird, like, interdimensional time place. I'm like,
her house.
Is this her crib?
Her house is so fucking weird.
What do her parents think about this?
Yet again, this goes back to, like, Kyoko goes in there, like, nobody mentions the fact that, like, things are floating and shit. Like, is this just normal? Oh.
I have no idea.
Google Hangout just did something.
It just pinged. Nothing happened.
Oh, okay. It does that.
I think it was implying that Hamada had built, like, a reputation.
I guess.
I mean, that's what I assume.
Yeah, like, Kyoko, actually respected Hamada a little bit.
Yeah. She, like, it seemed like Kyoko had, like, kind of knew about Hamada. I don't know, maybe that was just me picking up on something, but they continue nap onto the...
Let's see. Sayaka is basically moping in bed.
She's moping in bed? Oh, yeah.
And
she's
then...
not dead yet.
Yeah. Kyoko actually invites her to have a talk, and that's where Kyoko starts talking about her own past, of her own story, where her wish was basically for her father's sake. Her father had a church where he tried to get people to listen to his rationalization of the world, his views and everything.
Sorry to interrupt you. Did anybody else pick up on the common theme that every wish that was made was for somebody else and not themselves?
Yeah, the thing was, if you made a wish for somebody else, it backfired.
Yeah, which is why everyone had a tragic end.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like
that was
like what you would like. Why did they pick up on that?
Mommy was the only one who didn't.
Yeah, she was the only one that lived for herself, and she was the only one that was like relatively happy.
And then she still did.
And then she died. But she didn't turn into a witch. But like basically, it was the idea of being selfless destroys more than being selfish. High level shit here, man. I'm trying to be like emotional. I got tears in my eye. All right, now continue now.
All right, so yeah, he tried to do that, but nobody listened. So her wish was for all the people to listen to her father's words, and that made her happy because she would fight witches and save the world her way, and her father saved the world his way. So for her, this was a mutual beneficial thing. And everything was fine until her father found out.
And found out that she's like magic and shit, and he's like, "You're a fucking witch, bitch."
Except when your father actually is part of a cult that is created by
and
created.
It's like, oh yeah, this is a cult now, guys. Did you know that's that word?
As soon as she made that wish, it was like, oh wait, so you created a cult? Good job.
Yeah, I was like, it was like of like the weird like cutout figures. I'm like, this is a cult. Like, I had that moment.
Like, at that point, I was like, this can only end badly at this point. That's what I felt.
You done goofed.
You done goofed.
You done goofed.
All right.
Yeah, and then she's like, don't waste food.
And, yeah, basically her father flipped out and, like, called his own daughter a witch. He ended up drinking and losing his mind to the point... Huh?
I said, which technically she was.
Actually, yeah. Okay, so he lost his mind to the point that he killed his family and committed suicide.
Yep.
So essentially, her wish killed her whole family.
Yep.
And that's why she doesn't want to use her magic for anyone else anymore. So she finally brings this all home and says to Sayaka, like, I messed up my wish. I don't want you to mess up yours. You still have time. Just fight for yourself. Don't do this. Don't make the same mistake I did. And even despite this, Sayaka still held on to her beliefs and basically, let's see, shortly after.
Reading a little description, notes I took.
Shortly after that, basically, Sayaka finally does kind of respect Kyoko, but still won't ally with her, won't agree with her, just kind of...
And she won't use the goddamn cleansing things because she thinks it's wrong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the grief seeds?
Yeah, the grief seeds.
Yeah.
The grief seeds.
Yeah, she didn't earn it herself. She wasn't going to use it.
Yeah, and at first she was just like, I don't want to use these because they seem dirty and selfish.
Did you want to say anything else?
I was gonna say something, but yeah, it was I can't think of it. I lost it. Sorry. Continue up.
Okay, and then shortly after that, the whole Hitomi part starts happening, where you had this character in the background, and they were friends of. She was a friend of Sayaka and Madoka, and all of a sudden she comes in the forefront and basically says she has feelings for Kamijo just like Sayaka. She doesn't want to be lying to herself. She wants to confess to him, but because out of friendship, she's willing to wait for Sayaka to give her one last chance to confess. Otherwise, she's going to step up and say it herself instead. She's going to confess to Kamijo if Sayaka doesn't do it first. And
yeah, that whole part was just kind of meh.
Well, that was a whole other thing of like, well, I wish for somebody else to get better, and now I'm going to lose them.
Yeah, this was like the beginning of the real big push for Sayaka to start losing her mind.
Yeah, because she knew she couldn't be with him because she's fucking doomed.
She's technically dead.
Yeah, she's
like her
dead.
body is.
Yeah,
the body that would be with Kamijo, that would actually date Kamijo, that part of her is gone.
Yeah, it's a husk.
Yeah.
Is nothing.
So she
like,
can't.
Dark.
So she was like, the one thing I did so I could be with you has made it so I can't be with you anymore. And then everyone's
A
sad
little bit
again.
more thought should have probably been put into some of these wishes.
Yeah.
like you should have probably like.
And again, that comes full circle in the ending.
Yep.
It's just,
Okay, and then she has another witch fight, and this time she does it by herself, where she gets the idea to separate like her soul from her body, like her mental link of pain away, so that she doesn't feel pain anymore. And
that's that. It's a really cool art-styled scene of like this really fucking dark, fucked up scene.
where she's just putting the thing over
she's
and
like
over
beating
and
it to
over.
death.
and there's a lot of blood.
Yeah, she's getting
Like,
stabbed.
did you see the version with a lot of blood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of blood.
Because the disc version has the blood, the TV version does not.
No, I saw a lot of blood.
Yeah.
She was dripping, man.
I watched it on Crunchyroll, but I think it was pretty much the same.
The Crunchyroll version uses the disc version, so yeah, it has the blood.
Yeah, yeah, there's blood.
Yeah.
I got you covered.
All right.
Over
And
there, Greg, just staring into your little Moe screensaver right there.
I'm listening.
I know.
Just,
all right.
Continue.
This is why it's there.
Uh,
Sometimes
I just gotta look at pictures of Moe, man.
it's nice.
All right, and episode 8 continues her deconstruction, where she just starts falling apart even more, where she earned that grief seed and just throws it to Kyoko anyway. And by this point, she hasn't used the grief seed for a while, so you could kind of start to feel that you need to worry about this character, that she's not purifying the soul gem that she's supposed to.
However, I didn't really feel anything for her. Like, honestly, she was like one of the characters that I kind of wanted to die.
It was
after a while, I
because
just like, I'm done with
it
you.
was self-destruction. She made herself unlikable.
Yeah.
That was the thing that we were talking about earlier.
I was just like, you know what? The first character died that I liked already. You go.
And then
over
moving
this.
forward, just jump to it. She becomes a witch.
Yeah.
We realize that soul gems, once, if they're not purified, turn into grief seeds, and then she becomes a witch.
Yep.
Well, also on this episode 8, this is where Homura actually pent out her feelings for the first time, because Kyubey finally convinces Madoka to make a wish, and then this is the part where Homura appears and shoots the shit out of him.
Yep, that happened. It was pretty,
Yep.
it was pretty dope.
Oh my god! Everyone in the theater when I watched it the second time clapped, because I haven't said it yet, but like the first time I watched it on Blu-ray, second time I watched it at the theater. Because
like at a convention.
No, I
actual
forgot.
theater.
He lives in Texas, so Funimation's actually located in Texas, so they probably had local showings.
No, that's not it. Basically, Madoka is a TV show, and it's got 3 movies. The first 2 movies are actually the TV show basically spliced together into a movie.
Okay.
And I actually went to a screening for that. I basically went there and I sat through like 3 or 4 hours just watching that.
With a crowd of people.
Yep. And at that point, like, we kept reacting as a crowd, like, at the parts where we're supposed to. We laughed. We basically laughed any time that Kyoko did the food thing, just giving food to somebody. And everyone clapped when Kyubey got shot, and everyone was silent at the part where at Homura's episode in episode 10, basically. At the end of that, everyone was silent, and everyone basically reacted.
Yeah, because Nabishin, he went to a convention where he was telling me he watched Oran High School Host Club in a theater there at the convention, and that's where he experienced for the first time fangirls. Of them squealing every time Tamaki was on screen. So.
Oh my god.
I had that experience.
So.
Right.
I thought that was pretty dope, so I was curious. It was something like that. Continue. Yeah,
right.
So Homura's like, why don't you fucking get that people give a shit about you?
Yeah, this is where she like emotionally becomes depressed, and she becomes too depressed to actually stop Madoka from continuing onward. Where she
can't do the cold shoulder anymore.
Yeah, basically.
She can't bring herself to do it anymore.
Because that's not the type of person she is. She's forcing it, but she's not that kind of person.
Yeah. Which I was like, what the fuck? The fuck?
And then at this point, Kyubey finds out the secret of Homura as well. And, Homura says, I know your secret as well. You're the incubator. And then Sayaka becomes...
No fucks
Kyubey's like, I don't give no shit. Yeah, boy.
He's just kind of like blank stare. Oh.
Actually, one last thing. Before Sayaka became a magical girl, she had that bus scene where she talked to those guys who were just being really rotten to some girlfriend they had.
That fucked up shit.
Yeah. And she basically starts to lose it, and you finally actually see that her body's actually becoming black as well, like the way the witches are.
Oh yeah, that okay, yeah, no. You shouldn't talk about it like that.
That was really fucked up though. Like,
yeah.
Even for anime, that was fucked up.
I thought you were gonna kill him.
Like,
that's actually up to your interpretation. The creators themselves said that, like, basically whether those guys lived or died, that's your decision. Like, they made it ambiguous enough that you make that call.
Yeah.
I feel like that wasn't implied at all that she killed him. I feel like she just like did that and then stopped and then got off
I
the
feel
train.
like she just like scared the fucking shit out of them and then left. Yo, man,
because she didn't.
my bitch is such a slut.
It wasn't like
That was the dub. That was the only bad part of the dub.
really.
Yeah.
Because the
Really?
song is really worse.
Really?
Wow.
There's a lot more derogatory shit.
Oh no,
said.
that was the light toasting. There was a lot of bad words said that I don't want to say on air.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say if that's all you got from that, I was there was
Yeah.
No, there was a lot of things that I
like I've watched a lot of anime and that is probably the most fucked up thing I've heard in an anime.
I think it was lightened a little bit, but they did say some things that I actually genuinely found offensive.
Yeah,
I was like, what the
not something
fuck?
you should repeat.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is up with this? And then she was all like, I'm gonna scare the shit out
That's
of y'all.
another thing that I did not like about that show.
What?
That just that part. That whole part was like jarring for me. Like I watched some fucked up shit. But, like,
that is nothing compared to some of the stuff I've seen. So.
yeah, no, like it's still like pretty bad.
No, it wasn't. That was nothing compared. That didn't like offend me or anything. It was just like I was like, this seems like out of context. I get it now. And then moving forward,
Okay, whatever.
All right.
she became a witch.
Yeah, and then
They had to kill her.
yeah, episode 9 is basically The whole episode is basically about them having to retreat immediately because they don't know what's going on. They don't really understand everything.
And then QB explains that magical girls are witches, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I was like, makes sense. Seems legit. But yeah, it was not like a surprise at that point. I feel like anyone paying attention had kind of just realized it on their own.
Yeah, I got it. Like, there was a point where I figured it out. I was just like, oh, okay.
It was like you hadn't like quite got it, but like when they said it, it was like, this makes complete sense.
yeah, for those that still didn't get it, like they have a visual. There you go. That's what happens.
Yes, because I was like, what happens when it gets corrupted? I'm like, I have an idea, and then it was like, yes, that's what it is. I like that they give you enough time to figure it out, though. And then they have to fight her, and then Kyoko. They try and do the redemptive thing. Obviously, it doesn't work because witches is bitches.
Which is the kind of thing that would work if this was a regular magical girls show, because that kind of speech is normal.
Yep.
Like whenever a ally becomes a bad guy, you just talk to them, and they eventually snap out of it, and happy-go-lucky.
Yep. But no, not here. And then the Kyoko sacrifices herself, killing.
Basically,
Sayaka.
she didn't want Sayaka to die alone. That was her
really the
reason.
only surprising part is that she actually stayed back. I was like, oh, that's happening.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I expected her to just like kill her and like go away.
It was a heavy scene.
She kind of like died.
She died. She died.
Yeah.
She kind of had the sudden case of deadsies.
And then episode 10.
Well, there's more to that, basically, because, this ends up being revealed that Kyubey basically manipulated everyone into doing this so that Homura would be the only one to combat Walpurgis itself. So, this was all his part of unemotional plan to get them to basically force it so that Madoka can finally become a magical girl, because, you don't have many more options besides that.
By the way, what the fuck is that last angel?
Oh, I'll get to that, because the witch, because I have an idea, and I think I'm right, but I want to clear it with Net first, so we'll talk about it when we get to that episode.
Okay, but also Kyubey finally reveals like the whole reason for him being there, like
he's from some civilization that collects energy or collects human emotions as a energy source.
Yeah, basically the universe is like slowly running out of energy because of the law of entropy, which is Kyubey describes it as the type where you have like fire, and that fire ends up using more energy than you take from it.
Then you use to make it.
Yeah, basically. And that law is happening to the universe.
Yeah,
and so
it's the scientific concept that when you do something, more energy is lost in the form of heat.
Yeah.
So you're actually like creating negative. You're creating like negative energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something I was familiar with, so I got it.
Yeah, this is a real thing.
Yep.
But and so Kyubey is all kind, his race or whatever. They figured the best source of energy was magical girls, because he knows young girls are the greatest source of energy to combat entropy. That's what they came to the conclusion to. Mm-hmm. So they targeted everyone, and let's see.
And they basically used their emotions against themselves.
Yeah, and that actually ends episode 9, basically.
Yeah.
And then episode 10 is the flashback episode.
We all agree. Good episode.
It was really cool.
I rewatched that so many times.
Like when it started, I'm like,
yeah,
this seems odd.
It's out of place because it starts with her.
It starts with like the OG timeline.
Yeah, her original timeline. Yeah.
And then she's like she's exactly what Madoka is.
You want to know Madoka's original wish for becoming a magical girl? Because the creators did say it, like outside of the show.
What was it?
It was really stupid. Basically, her original wish was that she saw like a cat get run over, and her wish was to bring her back.
Selfless. No wonder everyone's fucked. Everyone's fucked.
The show has like no way of being good. Like
what?
Not good like that, but like the selfless wishes. Like
yeah, they always fuck.
Not
you.
like bad. Like yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, like a selfless.
Not like
you're
bad.
not allowed to be a good person.
Yeah, like that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, there's no way you can be good and be
and
okay.
like that's like the message of the show is that there will always be
So just make
bad.
sure you do like bad shit all the time.
Yeah, it's
and
basically like a
be killed by
concept of
Cube.
balance of, good actions and bad actions,
For every good
Like-
action, there's an equal and opposite bad reaction.
Yeah, Sayaka was like the ultimate embodiment of that. She even said it herself,
Yeah.
where, her idea of being just a do-gooder, noble knight for the town, and, it bites her because...
And then she's destroyed because she's doing good, and then that inevitably creates this inherent evil as a form of balance.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I love this episode because it was not what I expected, and just like the jumping between time.
Yeah.
It was awesome, and it's like that's one of my favorite type of sci-fi stories is the idea of infinite timeline. Like where if you do a little bit of something different and it causes an infinite possibility of different effects. That's one of my favorite kinds of sci-fi. So yeah,
You would love DC Universe comics.
I know. That's why I'm getting into DC stuff. What up, Power Girl?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, I know you get that.
Yeah.
Power Girl, Supergirl in an alternate timeline.
You've told me this before.
I know, but it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. All right.
So that was episode 10.
Okay, so episode 10 is basically the first time she meets her, she dies, she makes the contract. All right, and then the second time, she immediately tries to confront Madoka about being a magical girl, and this is where she really gets trained to become a magical girl, because her time powers aren't really useful for combat. So first idea she makes is to make a bomb.
Yep.
Where she homemades this shit. I don't know how the fuck she
fucking
came up
got
with
some,
this.
Some manure. She did some.
However, speaking of how she gets weapons, by like
Guns.
the last episode, she's just got like the entire U.S. military arsenal somewhere in her body.
Like a large country's worth of like nuclear missiles just hidden up her butthole or something.
Like at that point, I was just like,
It was,
come on!
It was.
Oh,
she pulls it out of her shield, which is her
I
like
know, but
time
they just
device.
keep like
her
coming
soldier.
out. Like,
Oh my
like
god.
she's just putting him in there, pulling him out. Like,
She freezes time. She runs over to the United States. She gets some guns. She comes back. She unfreezes time. And she shoots some
but
shit.
she brought missile launchers, like a whole bunch of.
Yeah, and fucking mommy fucking made rockets and lasers and shit. So.
I like.
Those are magical. She's like using real weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
you
she-
assume they come from a magic source.
No.
Well, she stores them magically, but they're
her only
real
power
weapons.
is time. She like literally goes into armories and steals weapons.
Yes.
Like, she's taking an entire rocket launcher and shoving it in there somewhere, and then she's setting him up to fight a witch.
Yep.
That happens.
Yep.
Like,
When I was watching, I'm like, these are more guns than I think I've ever seen in my life. Like I really didn't know what to think. I'm like, that's a lot of guns.
Like, where the like, why didn't she just grab the nuclear missile that was probably in some silo that she walked by eventually?
Because guns, dude. Duh.
Like, I feel like a nuclear missile could stop a witch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably not.
So.
And at least stop Cuba.
Yeah.
There ain't no more Cuba if he's irradiated. Forever.
You'd have to irradiate all of them.
Yes, all of them, which they're assumedly like infinite.
I guess, yeah.
The planet
Because they're
Earth.
all over the world, because, and it's a worldwide phenomenon, this magical girl thing.
Yep.
Right, but, Right, so in the second timeline, she gets trained, she fails again. Third timeline, she gets the idea that just to tell everyone they're being tricked by Cube. The whole idea that, they're going to be turning into witches if they don't try and do something, but nobody believes her.
Yep.
And at this time, this is one of the ones where Sayaka is a magical girl as well.
Yeah.
Which I guess she must have thought it was a good idea to get strength in numbers. I don't know.
That was probably what the idea that they could take down Cube.
But yeah.
Let's take out the immortal being.
Let's take out this immortal fucking robot dog looking piece of shit cat faced motherfucker.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Like, there's no good way to explain Cuba.
Yeah, he's just like that little fucking dillhole twat-looking motherfucker.
He's like that one annoying person that you hate so much that you want to punch him in the face, but can't because you know if you do, you'll get arrested for hitting a mentally handicapped person or something.
But,
yeah, I mean,
I don't know. That was a bad analogy.
we get the idea of episode time. We don't have to go through all
yes,
the
wait.
Yes, come on, Neb.
Yeah.
We skipped over some stuff for Kids on the Slope. We don't have to do all of the timelines.
Well, but like
She tried a whole bunch of shit, dude.
But there's so much emotion to it.
Yes,
like,
there's emotion that we cannot convey over this auditory podcast.
I can try.
All right, play act for us. All right, I'm done.
Right.
Okay, episode 11.
Hey, wait!
Come on, Nep.
I'm serious.
I know you are.
There's like 45 different timelines that she jumps through. Man.
Yes, they show hundreds of them. Well, not
Well,
hundreds.
there's like 2 more to discuss.
But we're not going to discuss them. We're going to be like, yeah, that shit happened.
Yes.
We've already discussed it.
Yeah, like this is
She
the
was a cute
defining
girl.
point.
She became less and less detached from everybody until the point where she fucking just didn't
She became
care.
so obsessed with the idea of making this perfect that she became so detached. Yes, that's
Yeah, it's because of the whole part where, again, where she fails and Madoka pleads with her to stop her from making this mistake, and like even ask her to kill her. Like this whole emotional part where, you have her like in tears, just yelping like a little girl, and just doing the deed. Like this is a part where her emotions die. Like she basically
she broke herself.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yes. We know.
Yeah, I didn't want to skip that.
That's been like the whole kind of premise.
We
from the very
discussed
beginning.
that earlier when we were like, yeah, because she done broke.
This is in order.
I know, but like when we were talking about her character,
she's a very emotionally disturbed person who ends up becoming very emotionally
because she
disturbed.
has to watch her best friend die hundreds of thousands of times. Yes, I get it. It sucks. I watched Back to the Future too.
I know
what
this
happens.
works. Doc, you gotta go 88.
Go to the Wild West, Doc. We can do it.
And
Yes,
then they make one last decision at the very end where they actually play the opening theme song of the anime. Where at this point in time, if you look at the lyrics, you would realize that these are basically Homoda's words. These are her feelings, her thoughts, her goal, basically. Like the song is basically her.
No, it's not. He's right.
See, because the song's
You know-
not sung by her. It's sung by.
It's her words. It's her
No.
thoughts.
Yeah, basically.
I always skip the intros after I watch the first intro and watch the second new intro.
No,
for the-
I watched it then because.
But I didn't
knew it
actually
was
look at the
important.
words. I just
Yeah, they purposely
Well, there
put
you
it
go.
at the very end for that
Well,
purpose.
Yeah.
and then I just kind of skip the rest of it from then on up. But
Yeah. But no, I got that, Neb.
it's just
Somebody was trying this month. It's Google Hangout is going to end this broadcast in 5 minutes. We're going to keep. Obviously, the audio will keep going, but they will have a 4-hour video to watch. So,
at this point they're fucked.
that's how long we've been going.
Oh my
Jeez.
god.
Wait, I figured these were gonna go on forever though, like each week.
Just because we do a show once a month doesn't mean it
Or
has
each
to be
month.
4 hours long.
The last one we did was 3 hours.
It's 4:52 in the morning. All right, Neb, go to episode 11. We
Okay.
get it. All right.
Also, we did break down both shows a lot more than we did the
Yeah,
other.
but we were courteous and skipped stuff and Kids on the Slope from a fucking Mr. Nepp over here, who is not courteous, clearly.
Well, you were skipping the part that made me cry. I didn't want to skip that emotion.
I am sorry, Nepp. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry.
Like, I rewatched episode 10 multiple times, and I cried each time. Like, it wasn't a one-time thing.
Like, I get it. It's just like, I feel like we reiterated it enough at this point. And I understand, yes, she has to watch her best friend die hundreds of thousands, infinite possible times.
Except she keeps jumping each time, so every time she does it, it's almost irrelevant.
No,
because
it's
she
every
jumps.
time she does it, it just breaks her more and more and more until she's broken.
Well, yeah, that's what it symbolizes. But yeah, I mean, but she just jumps each time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Until she
All right.
gets it right, which
And
never happens. Blah, blah, blah.
episode 12.
Episode 11 was the pretty much the Madoka being like, "Yo, this shit is fucked. Can I help out?"
Yeah, that happened, and then she runs off. I think
This is basically an exposition episode where they add, basically explain a lot more, like, how Madoka is this one with so much potential.
Because of the multiple timelines, she has power because of Hamaru.
Because she made her more significant by making her the center of this paradox.
Yeah, basically it added to her karmic destiny. That's the actual word they use.
Yeah, the cosmic shit.
Karmic destiny, yeah.
The karmic, yeah. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Because she's built all of this karma in this kind of time paradox that's continuing and continuing forever. So they're like, yeah, your spirit gem, soul gem would be like the size of an asteroid. I'd be like, that's fucking big. Like that's pretty big, but like in the bud though.
And Kyubey's also a dick in this episode.
Yeah, he's like a twat.
He's like that in almost every episode, though. At this point, like,
once you get to episode 6 and onward, he's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, he goes on to say how basically he's been influencing the shape of humanity the entire time from the Stone Age, and how he basically compares humans to livestock and stuff like that.